My name is Scott Bentley. This is Diamond Digest, and I'm alone presently. We're gonna do this cool thing where people just slowly join the show. It's actually super sick. So, first pitch will literally just be me, and then by the final out, there should be three of us, possibly four. No, I think I'm making that up. I think it's three of us. Um, so hello. And yeah, and welcome. Yankees Red Sox obviously one of the most what prolific rivalries in all of sports. Biggest rivalry in baseball in Fenway Park. I am I cover the Detroit Tigers for those who don't know. And today was one of the most frustrating and unbelievably depressing games I've sat through in a while, which is saying something after the 5 years of Tigers baseball that I've gone through. So hopefully, this is a nice little change of pace for me. Hopefully, this is, it's not all about me, obviously, but hopefully, this is at least something nice and enjoyable to watch because I have had a pretty rough day watching baseball so far. Um, Also, Nick Pivetta is on my fantasy team. So I'm sorry to our producer, who's a Yankees fan, producer Peyton, and Yankees fans around the world, as I will be rooting for a Nick Pivetta good game because I desperately need it in fantasy right now because we do weekly and like our weeks end literally on Sunday. So I very much need this very badly. Uh, Two balls to start off the game. Not great. I didn't see the Yankees lineup. I probably should have been paying more attention, but DJ's leading off. I really like Aaron Judge leading off because I am a firm believer that you should be trying to get your best hitter as many at bats as possible in a game. So I am a very firm believer in Aaron Judge being the leadoff hitter for the New York Yankees. But alas, in this one, it is DJ LeMahieu. And really, wow, that was a heck of a curveball. He starts off 2-0 and then just comes back three straight strikes. High curveball truthers unite. Um, so very cool. Do we have a tweet out there, Peyton, by the way? I was talking to my producer while we're live. No, we don't yet. So high curveball truther for starters, but you really can't go wrong. Judge is batting second. That makes a lot of sense too. You really can't go wrong with honestly, anybody in the Yankees lineup. This is an unbelievable lineup, probably the best lineup in baseball, and I'm not even sure like saying probably isn't doing it justice. Unbelievable lineup, unbelievable team, has gotten a lot of help out of the rotation this year. Feels like a different Yankees team than we are used to, I would say. I think a lot of people view the Yankees as like lately, the last whatever 3 or 4 years have viewed the Yankees as a like pretty solid regular season team, but with flaws that are going to get exposed come playoff time. And this team, I don't think shares many of those beliefs in the public eye. Ooh, wow, that's about as close as a check swing as you're gonna get. I don't know if I'd have the guts to call that a strike, to be honest with you, but that's right on like the limit of what a swing and not a swing is. Judge, that's a foul ball. So the other crazy thing with Aaron Judge is so last season, and I relate everything back to the Tigers because that's my job that I get paid to do. But last season, Robbie Grossman was the player that in all of baseball, like when you ran the analytics of strikes and balls called on everybody in the league, Robbie Grossman in 2021 was the player that was that would have found the most benefit in robo umps. Oh, he hung a curveball to Judge. Oh, that's going to be a bloop single. I guess we'll take it. Or they'll take it. So Robbie Grossman would have been the most positively affected by robo umps in all of baseball last year. because he has such a good sense of the strike zone that even if it's an inch or two off the plate, he's going to spit on it. And sometimes umpires make mistakes, as everybody loves to point out all the time. So last year, that was Robbie Grossman. I haven't looked at all this year on who that is true for because that's very time consuming and I don't have time to do it. So it's going to take someone else to find that stat. But I would bet that Aaron Judge probably comfortably leads the league in whatever you want to call that stat this season. This is a dude who his strike zone on low pitches, it is asinine how many strikes get called on balls that are like at this dude's ankles because he's just so big and so tall that umps genuinely are having a hard time like deciding and figuring out where his strike zone stops and ends low. It truly is unbelievable. It's a crime, honestly. Wow, that was a fastball right down the middle, and Anthony Rizzo popped it up. Good for my fantasy team, as we talked about. I'm kind of like really under the radar rooting for. I'm not rooting for the Red Sox because I'd be caught dead before I did that, but I am certainly rooting for a good Nick Pivetta game. All right. So that we'll kind of take it. Also, he's had a really interesting season. Nick Pivetta's had a really weird year where he has crazy good stuff. Anybody who's watched Nick Pivetta knows that he has really, really good stuff, but the command certainly comes and goes a lot, like a lot. And so he'll go on stretches where he's like the most dominant pitcher alive. And that's probably a little like, dramatic, but you get my point. He'll go on stretches where he's like damn near unhittable. And then he'll go on stretches where nothing seems to be going right. And he'll go 4 innings and walk 5 and give up 7 runs. And you're like, okay. So it'll be interesting to see which Nick Pivetta we get out of him. He's also a very frustrating fantasy ad for that reason, as you could imagine. But yeah, really, really, I love watching the dude pitch at the end of the day because of how nasty his stuff is. And doing that against probably the best lineup in baseball is going to be fun. Giancarlo Stanton, that's gone. Swing and a drive, Giancarlo Stanton. That was a laser, dog. Goodness gracious. Okay, look at this dude clapping. That dude clapped weird. Objectively, I don't care what you say. If you're watching the main ESPN broadcast, that dude, that Yankee fan in the right field, he clapped weird. That was a rocket. 114 off the bat, 393 feet. And it is already 2-0 Sox. Sorry, 2-0 Yankees. Sorry, Yankees fans. 2-0 Yankees. And that is what we call not good for my fantasy team. That was a fastball that he just absolutely grooved. See, the problem is if you're going up against Giancarlo Stanton, if you're sitting fastball, if he's sitting fastball, you're like your host. Like if he's sitting fastball and you throw a fastball, it's over. Giancarlo Stanton is certainly a Red Sox killer in his own right as well. Maybe earning some more pinstripes as his career goes on. But golly, that was a rocket of epic proportion. And then look, now you just have to deal with Josh Donaldson. Like that's next up. Never ending. Stanton kills Boston. There you go. As we said. Yeah, 114 off the bat. Might have got a hold of it. Home run in 22 of 30. We'll say that Comerica holds that one in because Comerica usually holds it in. Yeah, this Yankees lineup is crazy. Josh Donaldson then. Oh, it's Rudy.
Oh, there we go.
What's up, buddy?
Not too much. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. You just joined and there's already a score. So Giancarlo just send a ball into absolute. Well, it actually wasn't that high. The launch angle was low, but it was like 115 off the bat.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was a laser to say the least.
So I joined the stream, and you're going to tell me Stanton's already hit a ball harder than either of my teams will all season?
Yeah, same. Same. Yeah, actually, I think Javi maybe he's been up there once or twice, but
his career high is 116.9, so he can't do much better than 115.
Yeah, true. Golly, man, it's so crazy. Like my favorite thing from last year, well, really the last 3 or 4 years, is that Giancarlo Stanton has like a clause right on Baseball Savant and stuff where like you can filter out like hard hit like exit velocity, right? You can filter out Giancarlo Stanton single-handedly. Like who has the highest exit velo of the year? You can do who leads at baseball in that, who has the highest max exit velocity on the season, or you can do the Stanton filter and see who it is without Giancarlo Stanton. You can also do the same thing with, I think there's an Aroldis Chapman filter. Maybe not these days, but
I was going to say not anymore.
Yeah, maybe not anymore. But there was, I think in 2019, there was a Giancarlo Stanton filter. Or sorry, Aroldis Chapman filter. Where for that's a nasty pitch. For highest pitch velocities of the year, you could do who has the highest pitch velocity of the season and who not named Aroldis Chapman has the highest pitch velocity of the season.
Okay, come on now. I got to be able to get this game pulled up somewhere now. It's just not loading on now. There we go. Apparently, for once, Microsoft Edge is my friend. I don't know.
Oh, don't say that out loud, man. You're gonna get a lot of people on this website all riled up if you say that out loud.
I don't mean it. I'm a Firefox boy at heart.
Yeah, forever.
What I need to figure out is why my accidental 45-second stream is still on the Diamond Digest Twitch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, nobody deleted it, including me.
It's a banger. It's one of our most watched videos. When was it? Was it like before a Sunday Night Baseball stream?
Oh no! So I was out at my buddy's place in San Diego, and I was playing. I just got a game on Steam called 5D Chess with Multiverse Time Travel. It is insane. And so I'm sitting in my buddy's kitchen, and my other friend is like, "Yeah, dude, stream it. There's nobody streaming it right now. Just go live on Twitch." I was like, "Okay, I'll set up my personal Twitch and stream 5D Chess with Multiverse Time Travel." I changed the server I was streaming on, but I forgot, I guess, to copy and paste the new stream key. So I hit stream, couldn't figure out what wasn't working, and then got a notification like 30 seconds later that Diamond Digest was live.
So, can you explain to me this 5D chess with time travel? Is that
Honestly,
or is that
no.
even possible to explain? Yeah, fair.
It's like I actually don't understand why they call it 5D. That's the point I'm missing, because it's still like normal chess. The only thing is you can move pieces back in time to make a new timeline that branches off like the original game of chess.
The original game that you're playing.
Yeah, and then you have two games going at the same time.
Okay, that's messed up. And then like you could just keep doing that.
You can keep doing that.
And then like what? Winner is whoever wins the most games?
No, if you lose any king, like if any king in any timeline goes into checkmate, game is over.
Wow, that's sick. What? That's sick. I'm absolutely finding that. That's fantastic.
So you can, I was playing once against my friend, and he was like destroying me, right? Like he plays chess and I don't actually play chess or know any chess strategy. So I just sent a piece back like 10 turns back in time, and you can't play on the boards where he was winning until that board catches up. So I just sent a piece back in time like 10 turns and stall for like 10 turns where he can't actually win.
Jeez. Right, yeah, I guess. That I feel like that's just like how you use that. You just can, like, if you're about to lose, you just like continuously I don't know. That's crazy.
Here's the best review I can give you of the game. Personally, I've played probably about 10 games of it. In more than half of them, I don't understand why the game ended.
Sure. Yeah, fair. No, I think that's totally reasonable. Who's it's Tyone. I didn't even know who was starting for the Yankees tonight. Pivetta Tyone's a nice Sunday night baseball matchup though.
Oh yeah. I just saw Tyone pitch in Pittsburgh on Tuesday? Tuesday.
Oh, how'd you like Comerica, by the way?
It was sweet. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. I think it's, I mean, obviously I'm incredibly biased, but I think, I've been to 2/3 of the major league parks, and I really do think it holds up right up there with some of the best I've been to. I also really like, we don't have to come on here. I don't have to publicly slander the Cubs today. That wasn't my intention, but I do really like the Royals ballpark. I do. Yeah. I think that's kind of an underrated park in the grand scheme of things too.
Yeah, I would agree.
Except for its like random placement right off the highway, I thought was weird. But
yep.
The park itself, though. The park itself.
But, catch you there for World Cup games in 4 years.
Yes. Yeah. Heck yeah. Yeah, that's super cool.
But yeah, I really liked Comerica. I thought I was a big fan of the location of it and the surrounding area. I think is really cool.
Yeah, no, it's a great part of town. And yeah, all 4 sports teams play within like,
right there,
100 yards of each other or whatever. Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah, no. Well, I'm glad. It's super cool. Yeah, it is definitely my probably my favorite place on planet Earth. So
sure.
I'm glad. I always like when other people enjoy it. Oh, he seems to be fine.
It did have the unfortunate fate of being one of 2 ballparks that we visited, and the other was PNC, of course. But
yes, yeah, no, PNC is a masterclass. That is phenomenal. Yeah. Did you see a Royals game there?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
It was Royals Tigers.
Did you guys win the one that you went to?
You know what? Yes. Yeah. The Tigers picked up one run in the night.
Oh, right. Yeah. I was going to say, because we won one game from that series, and I was like, it would be really like crappy if you attended the one game that they lost. But
no, we were sitting.
Speak of the devil, there's JD
Martinez. No, there was this super nice family in front of us of dad's a longtime Tigers fan, and all the like adult kids now are Tigers fans, and the guy, the one of the son sitting in front of us is like, that's the only, it was a fireworks Friday night too.
Yeah.
And he's like, the fireworks should like make it worth coming to watch this offense.
I mean, like it's true currently, man. It's been really rough. Yeah, we don't have to get into that. I just got off air with another show talking about that for half an hour, so we're good on that. But
fair enough.
Yeah, it hasn't been great, man. This year's Yankees team is just like, I feel like they might finally be different, man.
Nuts, yeah.
Like, how many games do you think they can win?
I don't even know what they're on pace for right now.
Yeah, that would require some math that I'm not sure I can do off the top of my head, but I know that, I mean, it's insane the fact that the Tigers are 13 games under 500 and 4th place in the AL Central, and we're closer to 1st place in our division than the Red Sox, who are in 2nd in their division, are to the New York Yankees.
Yeah,
and the Red Sox are also
the Royals are closer to 1st than the Red Sox,
right? And that's not like the Red Sox are like a really bad team or whatever, and like 2nd versus 4th, like. The Red Sox have a wild card spot. They're well over 500, like 10-ish games over 500, and they are like what 15 back from the Yankees because they're already at 60 whatever wins. Like the Yankees have a
116 still.
116, golly, they have the New York Yankees on July 10th have 12 more wins? No, way more than that. Almost 20 more wins than the 2019 Tigers had in a full season. The Yankees could lose every game the rest of the season and have 18 more wins than the 2019 Tigers.
Man.
Like there will probably be a team this year. It'll probably be the A's that doesn't win 61, and that's what they're at right now.
Yep.
And it's not even the All-Star break.
Yeah, the A's aren't looking too good. The Royals,
they didn't want to be good.
Oh, you know what? So you want a fun Royals stat that can give you a little schadenfreude for the day?
I would love a Royals stat.
So the Royals got smoked by Cleveland yesterday. Okay. Michael A. Taylor made, I believe,
Michael A. Taylor, the oldest 14-year-old in baseball.
Yes,
actually, Rafi Devers is close too. But anyway,
I believe he made his first career pitching appearance in the majors.
Nice.
He threw 2 innings, gave up 2 runs, and he now has a lower career ERA than Jackson Kowar.
That is nuts, dude. That's crazy. That makes it 9, right?
Yeah.
2-2, right? Gee,
yeah. 9 ERA, lower career then.
Also, why does Matt Carpenter have a 1250 OPS?
It's disgusting.
It's gross.
I'm disgusted.
It's actually infuriating. His swing looks so pretty. Is like the messed up part. Is like he really does have a beautiful swing. And I love dudes with no batting gloves too. But unfortunately,
it's Matt Carpenter.
I am against rooting for any Cardinal legend, and that is what he is, sadly. So
yeah. I think
whether Carson wants to admit it or not.
Yeah. I think he's got to be like your first point of evidence. If you say the Yankees were cheating this year, it's Matt Carpenter.
Yeah, yes, that would be like the initial. Oh, really? What's your evidence? Matt Carpenter. That is my evidence.
Matt Carpenter with a 250 OPS plus.
Just ridiculous. And he's played in like 60 games for them. It's not like it's like whatever, like a 15 game sample size anymore. He's appeared in like 60 stupid. Games for them. Just ridiculous. His mustache kind of goes hard, though. I'll admit.
It does, yeah.
I kind of mess with it.
Yeah, if you give me everything about Matt Carpenter right now in a vacuum, just take away the 2 teams that he has like played for.
Right. Right. Yeah, no, absolutely. Spot on. Do you think that the Fire Boone conversations come back if they do anything besides win the World Series this year? Do you think he's going to be like on a hot seat?
Like with the fan base, or like genuinely might lose his job?
I guess both. And they can be different answers, but I guess I want to know both.
I would say that the Yankees fan base is going to jump out of their seats to fire literally anyone that's the manager at the first sign of wrongdoing.
If they don't win the World Series this year, I think they're going to try to find a scapegoat, and it's going to be him.
Yeah. I mean, unless something goes like horribly wrong in the playoffs for, Garrett Cole or Aaron Judge just disappears in the world. Like unless one of the players that's supposed to be carrying the load just does zilch, it's gonna be Boone.
I agree.
I think it matters more what happens the rest of the regular season for the Yankees than what happens in the playoffs, as far as whether he genuinely is in trouble of losing his job.
Right.
I don't know. I at least take the stance that it's hard to especially if there's no actions where you can point to it and say he did this wrong. It's hard to say that anything that happens in the playoffs is someone's fault as much as people want it to
For
be
sure.
and need it to be. So I seems like there's enough reason in the front office of the Yankees to say, okay, if he doesn't do anything wrong, it's just bad playoff luck, and that's
right. And that's the thing. Like if they win 114 and get swept in the ALDS, like someone's gonna, you know what I mean? Like somebody's gonna point a finger at somebody, and
yeah,
there's everybody can always find a managerial decision. Everybody can always find go into a reliever in this situation, and then they give up a homer or something like it. People are always going to find that. And I just feel like it's going to be hard for him to tightrope out of, no matter how many games they end up winning in the regular season. It's going to be hard for him to tightrope himself out of it within the fan base, no matter what happens, if it's not, raising the trophy in October.
Yeah.
Within the actual organization, though, I think that they probably have a lot more leniency, especially if he wins, 110, 112.
Yeah. But you know what is probably a pretty relevant example is Joe Madden in 2016. Like if the Cubs don't come away with that series, him riding Chapman until he could do nothing, and then Chapman gives up the game-tying home run, certainly looks pretty bad.
For sure. And like there's so many like that. Like Buck Showalter with the O's and the Zach Britton thing. Like there's so many of those in especially recent baseball, because of how utilized and how like expected it is to go to your reliever like pretty early on in the postseason. Like there's a lot. Yeah. There's a lot. It'll be really interesting. And if they win, then like this isn't even a conversation and whatever. If they just do what they're supposed to do, and they're now going to be the overwhelming favorites going into the second half of the season here to win it all. So
yeah.
Man, that's so crazy. 15 games back in AL East. What they're not telling you is that that's literally the second place team versus the first place team, and they're 15 games back.
Yeah.
61-24 on July 10th is crazy. That is absolutely insane. That's almost 3 times as many wins as losses.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Also, shout out Jose Trevino, man. All-star.
Yeah. He's I've seen some nice clips of his framing too.
Oh, dude, he is like the poster child for what I want in a catcher. Like just a league average hitter, like 100 OPS plus hitter, and then just absolutely stellar behind the dish with framing, and calls a fantastic game too. I really like
oh my gosh, he's far and away leading in framing right now.
Oh yeah, he's the best framer in baseball this year, comfortably. And yeah, I really like how he calls games too. Like I said, when he catches Garrett Cole, it is masterclass, and you don't see Cole shake off too much on those days either. Like it's just phenomenal. I'm a huge fan of his. I'm really excited to see him play in the All-Star game and hopefully catch a lot of good pitchers. But I am just honestly just really glad that he well, that's a hanging curveball. Yeah, there you go. Speak of the devil. That'll drive in a run at least. Oh, he's out though. I'm glad that he got recognition at the end of the day, though. That's really the biggest thing.
Very nice.
I'm just pumped he got recognized. That was a very hanging curveball.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, golly. Trevor Story also gets the tag out there, but having a really solid year defensively at second base, which I know was like a big talking point going into the season. Because
I still kind of can't believe he's at second.
Yeah, I can't either. Apparently, it's all Bogarts. Apparently, Bogarts just refuses to not play short, which is kind of ridiculous considering he's like not that good of a defensive shortstop, and Trevor Story is like a borderline Gold Glove candidate over there. But for whatever it's worth, he is having a really good year defensively at second base. He'll, if the season ended today, I think he'd get runner up for Gold Glove. Oh, that's some clutch hit in there.
Ooh, no.
This is not a good day for my fantasy team, as I have Nick Pivetta. 4 runs in an inning and a third. Not great. And like, this is the risk you take with putting this game on Sunday Night Baseball, like any Yankees game on Sunday Night Baseball. Like, you just have for this season, you just always are going to have an underlying risk of like, hey, this game might be over by the third.
Yeah.
And the Red Sox are a really good team, and it's still very early, so you're not there yet. But that is very much a risk.
I think it's interesting that they still have LeMahieu leading off.
Yeah, I talked about that when I was riding solo there. I was like, because they have led Judge off a lot this year.
Yeah, well, they've got to have. I mean, I guess Rizzo's out right now, but
he's playing.
Oh, is he back?
Yeah, he's. I think he's been behind. I think he's batting behind Judge before Stanton.
Okay. You know what? Actually, LeMahieu leads the team in on base percentage among guys not named Matt Carpenter. So. Okay,
golly. I mean, well, there you go. 3 players. Golly. The Yankees have 3 different players with an over 400 batting average in July. Goodness gracious. They are definitely the evil empire this year, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of hot in July, Chris Bryant again?
Oh. Yes. Here, man, I know he was hurt and stuff, but he like just hit his first homer as a Rocky like last week.
Yeah, he's got 4 now.
And he's got 4. Oh, okay. Yeah. Jeez, dude, went on a little bit of a heater.
He
and the first one wasn't in Coors, I don't think.
No, he hasn't hit one at home yet.
But he's unbelievable that we're almost at the All-Star break and he hasn't hit one in Coors yet.
Yeah. Well, he's played 16 games at Coors so far.
Oh, okay.
So,
fair enough.
Not crazy, but yeah, he hit 3 at Chase Field this weekend, which is also Launchpad.
Yeah, definitely.
And I remember him hitting pretty well there as a Cub too. I don't know. That might just be happenstance, but
first was at Dodger Stadium. We have a comment.
Yeah, first was at Dodger Stadium, and now 3 at Chase Field. His
3 at Chase, man. Golly.
His July slash line right now 371, 421, 800. So not too bad.
Not bad. Yeah, certainly not bad. Heck of a play-by story there.
Yeah.
And there's Judge. Yeah, how many Yankees made the All-Star game? I'd have to pull up the roster. That's a really stupid question. Just ask out loud, actually.
I happen to have the roster pulled up, actually.
Oh, okay. That's convenient then. I know Judge leads all of baseball in votes, and then Trevino.
3 position players.
3 position players.
Plus Cortez, Cole, Holmes. So 6 Yankees.
Who's the other position player?
Judge, Stanton, and Trevino.
Stanton. That's the one I was missing. Got it. Wow. I mean, there you go. 6 players.
Yeah.
What was the stupid Royals year?
15.
Yeah, that was a dumb year.
And then the Cubs got the whole infield in 16.
Did they really?
Yeah.
That was just peak Rudy, man. Man, 2014 to like 16, 17, just peak Rudy.
Yep.
Shout out Omar
Jock
and
Peterson
Fonte.
is starting in the All-Star game this year. I didn't even realize. Good for him.
He's had a really good year out there in San Fran, man.
How about Acuna being the leading vote getter in the National League, and he didn't play until May?
Yeah, mid-May at that. Yeah, he's been on an absolute tear. So. Who are your team's reps? Oh, high curveball truthers, baby. Oh, he's very upset that he gave up those runs.
Yeah.
That's the high curveball truthers, though. We rise.
I believe just Contreras and Benintendi. Oh, no, Ian Happ is a reserve, too. Oh, good for him.
Wow. See, Contreras.
And, of course, no pitchers from either teams, which is the correct decision.
Wait, who's the Royals rep?
Benintendi.
Oh, right. I totally forgot he was a Royal, honestly, just for a second there. Is he going to get traded?
He ought to. Who knows what the Royals are going to do what they ought to, but
yeah,
they got rid of Santana.
Yeah, facts. Yeah. And then that homer last night or 2 nights ago, whatever that was in Seattle. Yeah.
But yeah, supposedly they've already started listening to trade rumors, and
everyone freaked out at Tiger Killer got pulled in like the 5th inning. Merrifield got pulled in the 5th inning of today's game, but like nothing it seems to have ever came of it.
Nope. I will not believe they've traded him until I don't know what it convinced me.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about with I forget who, but somebody was like, "Man, it's about 5 years too late on that one." Golly.
Yeah, I wrote my very first article for Diamond Digest in October of 2018 about how Whit Merrifield needed to be traded.
Really?
It is 4 years later.
It's remarkable though. Like it really is insane how the entirety of this rebuild they just went, but not him though. It's like, why?
You know what I should do? I should try and go back and find mock trades with him and just see.
Yeah.
Because
like that's the crazy thing is like 4 years ago, his some of the returns were crazy.
Right.
Like you could have gotten so much for him if you traded him even 3 years ago, nonetheless 4 or 5.
Okay, how far back can I actually look? Oh, it's giving me pretty recent stuff. Let's see if I can do like 2018.
Whit Merrifield trade 2018.
Okay, here's mock trade with Whit Merrifield in Milwaukee.
Willie Adames. He would have been super young then. It actually might not be too.
The Brewers would get Merrifield. The Royals would get Lucas Erceg, Domingo Santana, and starting pitcher Bubba Derby. So that would be kind of a dud.
Okay. Yeah, not great. Shout out Bubba Derby, though.
Great name.
Incredible name.
Phillies mock trade. If the Phillies are interested in both Moustakas and Merrifield, it could cost them Maikel Franco.
Wow. There you go. Didn't he end up
have done that because he was a
right, I was gonna say, didn't he end up in Kansas City? Man, actually, I remember we did you and I did we did the off-season like Twitch. We did an off-season stream. And I remember on the day of the tender deadline, we did like when he was I think he was non-tendered by the
Non-tendered, yeah.
Royals.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think we did like a whole thing on that because he was like not bad for a little bit, but like was pretty bad for a lot of it. And yeah. At least you
Okay.
got Bobby Witt.
That's right. November 25th, 2019. Here are 3 names that could be coming back in a potential Cubs Merrifield trade. Ian Happ.
Okay.
I don't know that the Cubs would have done that. Nico Horner. Also don't know if the Cubs would have done that. But I don't know. I'm probably also not quite remembering like just how much Merrifield was supposed to be a hot commodity at this point.
I mean, there was a point where it really was. Like he was really sought after at one point when it was in my opinion, the Yankees would sweep the NL All-Star team in a 7-game series. Shout out Jim, man.
Yeah,
there you go. Oh, and our Yankees fan producer decided to throw that one up there. Shocker.
The last potential arm discussed in that trade was Corey Abbott, who frankly has been terrible like since the day that article was published.
I mean, that's kind of hilarious.
And is now not even a Cub. Wait, he started this year with the Cubs? He's on the Nationals now. How did he get to the Nationals?
Do you think the Cubs are going to be like huge big time sellers this year again?
I'm having a tough time reading like where.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are, like, especially after the Stroman signing and everything. Like, I don't know if they know what they're like, not what they're doing, but I don't know if they know like where they're at as far as this like retool goes. Because since I think it was like May 15th or something, they have like one of like the second or third worst record in all of baseball. I think they're only better than I think it's the Angels that literally have the worst record in baseball since mid-May, and then, or maybe it's like the end of May, maybe it was like June 1. Anyway, and then the A's are obviously terrible.
Well, so the Cubs before this weekend, and we don't talk about this weekend, had won 4 series in a row, so they weren't like tearing it up, but they were playing, stringing together decent baseball, decent enough. But
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I like. It's a matter of like you can see enough right, the guys that you're trading if you're the Cubs are Contreras and Happ, and that is like the final blow of okay, everyone's gone.
Right.
And
yeah, in my eyes, if Contreras, like if you dish Contreras, then it's like, yeah, like that's like the final nail in the coffin, I think. And like, no disrespect to your boy, like Happ is obviously great, and
but no, it's Contreras.
But like Contreras, like if they move Contreras, like that's it. Like you might as well just go into full blown rebuild if you let go of him. So I'm not saying it's the wrong thing to do either, but
yeah, I don't know. But I think keeping and extending Contreras and trading Happ would be reasonable, and I think people would be happy enough with that. The thing is, like, you can point to enough, bullpen's bad.
Yep.
Rotation's largely bad. But like you can point now to guys where, say they extend Contreras, they extend Happ. Well, now you can point to catcher, 2 outfield spots, and a starting pitcher where the Cubs have money sunk into guys who should be players on a winning team.
Sure.
It's just there's not necessarily enough coming up around them to say that next year is going to make a difference.
It's going to be any different, yeah. So, but like all, then you're too. pillars that you have then get another year older, and you're not really any closer.
Right.
And every year you wait, their value gets lesser.
Right.
But I also don't think they're just going to move. Like, I don't know. Like, Hap, I could see them just like, we just need to trade Hap just because we need to, because the direction of the organization. I don't think they're just going to give up Contreras for nothing. Just not nothing, but I don't think they're going to give up just anything, I should say, for Contreras just because they think they need to. Like, I think ultimately they will do everything they can to hold on to him, but I do think that they kind of have to take calls on him and shop him too.
Right. Because he's A1 as far as this team might look for an upgraded catcher. Like he's your guy.
For sure. Yeah.
For sure.
And like catchers that can hit like down the stretch and in the postseason too, like unbelievably valuable. I mean, you could get a fat haul for him for sure.
Yeah.
But also like the Cubs have pretty much proven over the last 3 years that I'm not sure they're really looking to extend like anyone. So
yeah, it's kind of unbelievable. How
badly do you miss Javi? Because like,
well, that's the weird. I was about to say, like, the weird thing about it is, at this point, it's hard to say. It would have been better to extend these guys and not build such bad faith between them and the team and fans and the team after 2016. But given how it's gone down for Javi and Bryant specifically, who were probably the two guys that you most would have pointed to say, these are guys that ought to Cubs for life if you're trying to lock up anyone from 2016, given how life has been for them, it's hard to look at it and say that the Cubs were, it's hard to look at it and say that it was a wrong decision not to extend either of them.
No, for sure.
They wouldn't be better off now if they had.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, and like, but Rizzo has obviously been fantastic.
Yes, of course.
But yeah, Javi, Chris Bryant, most of his is just like, not actually being. I love Franchy Cordero so much, by the way. Oh my goodness, one of my favorite like non-Tigers in all of baseball, for real.
He's a dog.
He is a dog. He's got that dog in him. Okay, Franchy. Well, that one should have been in the seats, brother.
Oh man, that hurts.
Right when I complimented dude, right? Golly. So the thing with, like I said, like Bryant just hasn't stayed on the field really as a Rocky. Javi, I mean, got off to a nice little start the first couple of weeks. Franchy!
Oh,
Franchy, baby! He's the franchise.
He is the franchise.
Damn right. I gotta text John. Franchy Cordero. Anytime he does anything, we go Franchy Cordero. We win.
Yes, sir. I mean, I gotta say, I'm a fan as well.
He's the man. Yeah. So the thing with John texted me 2 separate texts. We win.
We win.
That makes this a ball game too, which is always good. So the interesting thing with Javi is like the first couple of weeks of the season, he got off to a nice start. There's a couple of games that single-handedly were his responsibility. We even won. But then he went on like the worst month and a half stretch I've seen like any hitter go on in the history of my life, which is very dramatic and definitely not true. But it was.
So you didn't watch him in 2020 then?
It was really, really bad. And like, especially with how good he was as a Met and everything, like it was so disappointing. And he had the highest swing and miss rate in all of baseball. And he had the worst statistics against a slider in the entire game of baseball. Because if you just threw a slider low and away, it was literally a guaranteed swing
free
and
strike.
miss. So he had, the worst swing and miss number in baseball and the worst stats against the slider in the entire sport. And then 2.5 weeks ago, he hit a homer, and ever since then, he's had like almost a 900 OPS. like since I want to say it was around like June 20th, he hit a home run in Arizona, and then
Yes.
he went on like
they talked about it. The game I was at, they put it up on the scoreboard.
Yeah, he cranked a grand slam, right? And
yeah,
so like
they said it was the farthest. I think they said it was the farthest hit grand slam in Tigers
smoked.
history.
It was like 430 something feet. Yeah, it was smoked. And so then like since then, that might have been the second homer, but around then, like around the beginning of the Arizona series, he hit a homer, and then like since that moment, he's had like an 860, 870 like OPS with like obviously he's a plus defender. You know, if you get past the throwing errors every once in a while, like he's just been like really good for about 3 weeks now again, and it's just like, okay, like it would have been really nice to have had this for the second half of April and the entirety of May, and now we're 13 games under 500, and it's kind of like, but
yeah. You know what was weird to walk around? It was to walk around and see so many Baez 28. That was really weird when I was at Comerica.
Yes, certainly. Yeah. What did he wear with y'all?
9.
Not really.
Yeah.
What did he wear as a Met? Do you know?
I can go find it.
I don't remember.
Man, his time with the Mets is going to be some quality trivia content down the line. I feel like that's pretty forgettable.
We have a comment in the
he wore
chat that says
23. Yeah. So
he was good as a Met too, and like that's what we were all kind of hanging our hat on. We were like, oh, if we just get like Mets Javi, like it's chill. This is a great signing. Like we'll take it. But
hey, he's back up to never mind. That's his total bases, not his OPS plus.
Wow. Yeah, no. it was high curveball truthers, by the way. It was really brutal. Like it was really, really brutal there. And like it wasn't just him, the entire team, you know, we're on pace to have one of the worst offenses since like integration. Like it's been an absolute disaster of a season, but being that he is the highest paid player on the offense, sans Miguel Cabrera, who's also hitting over 300 this year. It was definitely rough. It was definitely a rough go. So, you know, there's still plenty of years left on the deal. And if he turns it around, is pretty solid the rest of the way and doesn't go into any, you know, 510 OPS for 2-month stretches for the rest of the contract, then like people will get over it at the end of the day. But certainly has not been a tremendous start.
Now I want to know why he didn't keep wearing number 9.
He says Javi wanted 23 on the Cubs originally, but it was retired because of Ryan Sandberg. That's another comment in our Twitch stream.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I guess he's always been kind of a 23 guy.
So why not 23 in Detroit then?
You know what? People give me crap all the time. I genuinely am so bad at jersey numbers. I think Miggy's 24.
Yeah,
Tigers 23. It might be retired by someone like really good, like genuinely. Like I legit I'm so bad at jersey numbers and always have been. 23.
It is not currently in use.
It's got to be retired. I know. Oh, it might be Willie. I think it might be Willie. Okay, it is Willie Horton. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, Willie Horton's been retired for decades now, so that'll do it.
Yeah.
Also, have you ever looked at, this is totally like complete change of topic. Have you ever looked at Jackie Bradley Jr.'s home versus road splits this season?
No.
If you want a good chuckle, go look up Jackie Bradley Jr.'s road home splits this year. He is absolutely horrid on the road and
he's
like
an animal in Fenway.
Actually really good at Fenway this season.
Let's see.
It's so funny they just like brought him back. Like that's so funny to me. Like,
oh my god, he's not even amazing at Fenway. He's 106 WRC plus and 350 BABIP, but holy smokes,
yeah,
he is horrendous on the road.
Yeah, it's quite a remarkable difference.
391 OPS.
High curveball, truthers. I love the high curveball so much. Oh. Okay, that one got a little away from you, I think. Oh, they're trying to "Let's go Yankees" chant here at Fenway. Oh! 110 off the bat, and Xander Bogaerts brings it in. I wonder what I'm going to have to look up what his defensive numbers are this year because.
So Stanton's rocking 115 and 110 tonight?
Yes, 115 and 110, and over both of those as well. I think it was like 115-1, and then 110.5 was that one.
110.5 and 114. He's got both of the hardest hit balls of the evening.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
Mm-hmm.
He just ropes it, man. All right, I'm looking up Xander Bogaerts.
Expected batting average of 700 on that line out. So hit it literally anywhere else and you've got a hit.
Yep. Makes sense. I want to see Bogaerts' defensive numbers this year. Bogaerts' defensive numbers since refusing to let a guy who like was one of the league leaders in DRS last year not play shortstop over him. He is a 1 DRS and a 1 OAA.
Yeah. Okay. That's
2-4.
Those are career highs for him, aren't they?
A 2.4 UZR, all of which would be career highs. Oh, he had a 2.9 UZR in 2015. But this is the first year he hasn't been a negative DRS.
Man.
His previous career high DRS at short was -3 in 2015.
Yeah, that's bad.
But it is +1, so shout out. And then his +1 OAA is second highest of his career, where in 2017 he had a +2 outs above average, which shows how different those two stats are because he had a -11 DRS the year that he had a +2 OAA.
Yeah, that's wild.
He has career -54 DRS and -38 OAA. OAA started being recorded in 2016. So
hey, Scott, I got news for you.
Please don't tell me Carson's here. Oh gosh.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'll just take back what I said earlier in the Twitch chat, I guess. I
don't even know what you're talking about, I don't think.
Wow. I mean, Rudy put it up on the screen and everything too. I mean, Rudy, if you want to just real quick.
Rudy did it?
Did
No.
I feel like Peyton did it.
Peyton did, yeah.
Oh, okay. It was right when Rudy got here. A certain anonymous viewer was like, "Wow, this single host they have this week sure looks pretty cute today." And you know,
he is single. Yep.
I mean, I wasn't trying to like make your private business public with that.
Hey, cheers, brother.
But...
Cheers. The dogs. Man, he is putting on a curveball masterclass.
Yeah, that was
Josh Donaldson literally said "wow" after he swung and missed it.
Yeah. Wow.
He literally looked at the camera and went, "Wow." If only he didn't throw a fastball down the middle to Stanton.
He just about hit
like a home game for Josh Donaldson here with the Boston fans, you know.
Oh,
wow. Carson, welcome to the show. Yeah,
I'm coming in hot. All right, I'm an hour late. I got to get the good bits out of the way.
Cardinals fan, by the way.
Yeah, no, you know, hold on. I have an off camera coming up.
Unreal. What is that hat? Is that a banana?
Yeah, so back when I visited my friend, shout out my friend Michael Setsky, back in April, the San Francisco Museum of Modern Art put on a soapbox derby. And so this is a hat from that day. So if you look, it's actually from the 70s. It's I can point at things. It's like the original car they ran like back in the 70s and stuff. And it was really fun. There was No. It was really fun because there's a couple of guys that were like in their 70s and they showed up with like Mercedes F1 hats on, and they were like really commentating on like the craftsmanship of the cars and stuff. Like,
dude, if you ever need some of that, you should come up to Detroit and walk up and down Woodward in the month of August, and it is only that.
I've been saying, I know, Rudy, you were just at Comerica. I know I missed this segment. Again, I apologize. And you got to, you know, I agreed with both of your takes. I think it's a pretty underrated ballpark to begin with. But I also think that, to Scott's point as well, just I do really like the centrality of Detroit sports in terms of stadiums and stuff. It's really cool.
I think it's the only... I think at least when it was built, when LCA was built, it was the only one. It might not be anymore, but I think it was the only city in the country or one of two, maybe, whatever, where all four teams were all within like the city limits of the actual city. Oh my goodness, Matt Carpenter, grow up, dude. Grow up.
Okay, so do I have to talk about this?
I'm absolutely disgusted.
I'll just take you back off the stream, Carson, if you say
no.
Oh.
It's like this is not.
He has to grow up.
Rudy, this is not the universal praise. You know my feelings about.
I do actually know your feelings about this individual.
So what really frustrates me about this, right, is like, you know,
he has like a 1300 OPS.
Well, yeah, that's part of it. But my issue with Carpenter, right, is. There's been a lot of puff pieces about him in the last 6-7 months about how, like, you know, he reached out to Joey Votto and he reached out to Paul Goldschmidt. He went to the Marucci cheating lab to get the perfect bat for him and And I'm like, where was that when we were paying you $18 million a year, you bum?
Right.
Where was that effort? Like, I'm so glad that when you thought your career was over, you decided to step up and grow up and act like a man about your job. Like, congrats, pal. It's so unbelievably shitty. That's all I have to say about it. It's so shitty to just be like, oh, you know, now that I'm not getting my big fat paycheck, I guess I'll actually show up and try.
No, that I would imagine most fan bases, if this happened to most fan bases, they would feel that sentiment.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating because it's like, dude, there's so many like what ifs of like free agency or like trade candidates of just like this guy was on the roster and like the only reason he was on the team even last year so he could get 10 years of MLB service time. Like the only reason we kept around is they had to
high curveball truthers. Sorry.
No, I mean, hey, it's a friendly chat for that, all right? You know the vibes.
If anything, Carson was interrupting you, Scott.
Yes. Guys, this may come as a shock to the viewers who have known me for 4 seconds or 14 years. I interrupted someone. My apologies forever and always. But yeah, I don't know. The Carpenter thing just really pisses me off because it's like Ken Rosenthal being like, oh, and he really put the time in the offseason. I'm just like, you mean what everyone is supposed to do? I'm like, why you're applauding the bare minimum for a guy who unironically had like -2 WAR last year.
Correct.
That dude, shout out Scotty Bentley and the fam.
Yes, you can see that's my family there. Yes.
But it just infuriates me beyond belief, and so yeah.
You're
not going to get any.
I can imagine.
You're not going to get any Matt Carpenter praise on.
I don't.
We're dangerously close to me. By the way, rooting for Paul DeJong to get called back up because Edmundo Sosa has been
really,
dude. He's so like.
Wait, before we get into that, is there a person that has done that for our teams, Rudy? Has done like a Matt Carpenter thing? Like how many years would you say Matt Carpenter sucked, Carson? Well, but you know what I mean. Not 3. Lived up to what he was supposed to do. 3.
So he got the extension after and I get it. Like everyone's like, oh my god.
Did he do it after the crazy second half? Is that when they extended him?
That was, I think, year 1 of the extension.
Okay.
If I'm remembering correctly. So, like, he had that insane second half.
Where he literally went from, like, he wasn't an all-star, and then he was third for MVP or something. Like, he had a crazy second half.
I pulled up the B-ref. So, in
that was
2018.
18, because that was Yelich MVP year, and Baez was second, Carpenter third.
No, he finished 4th in 2013. That's his highest MVP finish. In 2018, he finished 9th. He had a triple slash of 257.
It was Cardinal fans making me think he finished third. Because
I genuinely think there was one point in like late August or early September when people were like, "Oh, he deserves to be in there." And then he fell off a little bit at the very end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, he had 36 bombs and 897 OPS like that. Right, I mean, that's a top 10 MVP no matter how you slice it. So then we extended him, and I'm going to give you. I'm sorry. That was year 1 of the extension. My apologies. That was year 1 of the extension.
Okay, that's what you said originally.
Yeah. The 3 years after. Okay, I mean.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's making me. Have we used the F-bomb yet? I'm fucking sick looking at this. Like,
Carson just wants to use it every week. No one else.
He just storms in here, and
I'm sorry. We'll censor that. No. In 2019, his triple slash 226, 334, 392, 726 OPS. You're like, that's not really good. Maybe it's just a down year though. He missed like 30 games. You can chalk it up to just a down year. 2020 condensed season, 186, 325, 314.
He was really bad, yeah.
Oh, that was so Scott, you would say that was really, really bad in 2020. Like
I would say that is objectively really bad, yes.
I'm gonna now read. What if I told you that he played 130 games for the Cardinals last year? Okay. Triple slash.
What's the OPS in 2020?
640.
Okay.
In 2021, a triple slash of 169, 305, 275.
275 slug?
275 slug.
He's on his Robbie Grossman. It
is nightmarish. It's nightmarish to look at. And then, guys, let's take a look at 2022. 328, 431, 820, which does not include what he has done this evening.
It's sickening.
So disgusting.
I hate it. I hate it beyond belief. So
I was just trying to think if Rudy, if anybody jumps off the page as like that happened to any of our teams, but
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. If that's happened to the Royals, it's the Royals' fault, not the player.
Fair.
It literally is happening before our eyes with Jacob Junis to an extent. The Royals just did not. Well, first of all, they had Cal Ellsworth for his entire time as a Royal.
Right.
And now he's gone to the Giant. Junis worked with his brother on something and came back and it was working and the Royals were not, they weren't super receptive to it or they didn't really lean into it. And now I think it's like throwing his slider more or something, like something with his slider or one of his pitches. And now with the Giants, they've just like spiked up the use of that pitch, and he's pitching so much better.
Well, and I think Scott, the example you're trying to reach for, right? The Carpenter one is so unique because the two Cardinals examples I can think of like guys we stole that like would make a fan base absolutely physically ill is when the Cardinals signed Beltran and when we signed Berkman. Because we signed Lance Berkman and then he proceeded at like 36 to have – he literally was an all-star for us in 2011. Like I want to say he was a top 10 MVP finisher. So like – but – the difference with that was like Puma was just like Astros were rebuilding and it was more just like we don't want to like let me pull up this B ref here. I want to make sure that I'm like talking out of turn about Lance Berkman, but like I want to say the last year that he had like he got traded to the Yankees in 2010 and he had finished the year with a 780 OPS, like still clearly like a solid veteran. Granted, he then proceeded to have a 959 OPS for us at age 35, but like it was clear that he was ring chasing at the end of the line.
For sure, yeah, for sure.
Beltran, same deal. This is so much more frustrating.
No, and that's the thing. Like every team can point to somebody who like sucked for them and then went somewhere else and was great. Oh my tank shot. Bang.
Vasquez? He's got it like that?
Absolute tank.
He's got it like that? I did not know he had that in him.
Golly.
Woo!
Hey, that keeps this game interesting. That's all I want.
That's right.
I'm sorry that you I did catch early on the broadcast you're saying you needed a Nick Pivetta.
Yeah, it's all right. My fantasy team has been an absolute shambles this year. That's a different conversation. Wow, that was hanger. Definition of a hanger, by the way.
We can talk a little fantasy because I'm pretty sure the average age of my team is like 24, and I'm about to be 8-5 in my dynasty league, dude.
Ooh.
Can I get it? Just please. I gotta give you this lineup. This is a 12-team full dynasty with 40-man rosters, and I'm gonna give you just my hitters. You ready for this? Adley Rutschman, Vlad Guerrero, Ty France, Nolan Arenado, Lindor, India, Bobby Witt, J-Rod, Riley Green, Jeremy Pena, Dylan Carlson, Brandon Lau currently on the IL. And I skipped like the guys that don't matter that are having a good year like Jeff McNeil or like Tyro Estrada. But like, oh my God, dude.
You just have like all of the 2021 top 10 prospects in baseball.
Torkelson was Scott. I wanted the entire top 5. And one of my buddies in my league, he wouldn't trade me Torkelson. But I had
that looks like his fault.
I had Adley,
he's been absolutely horrific.
J-Rod and Green, and the only one I didn't have was
Riley Green is him. So,
dude, what I love about Green is like
that he's the best player on the planet. Yeah, I like that.
Well, first of all, I mean, plays a great center field, which is just
oh my gosh, dude, his walk off on the Royals was so cold.
Yeah, it was nasty.
He's the dog, man.
But what I love about Riley Green is he's such a like stat sheet stuffer. Like he'll like because he's on my team, right? So I'm checking his line, and let's say he'll maybe have like a 0 for 3 at the plate, but it's 2 walks with a run and a stolen base and like a diving catch, and I'm like that's a ball player, dude.
It's just a ball player. So good. No,
it's so much fun to watch him play.
I try to tell people for so long, like. Because of just the optics of a number 1 overall pick, everybody was always like, oh, like Torkelson, like the best prospect in the org, like whatever, just because, he broke a Barry Bonds record in college and he picked number 1 overall.
Right.
I've been trying to tell people for years, we draft Torkelson 2.5 years ago.
Yeah. Years is acceptable.
I've been trying to tell people for so long. Like Riley Green is different, man. Like joking aside, he's had an absolutely putrid season this year. I still think Torkelson's going to be a really good middle of the lineup bat for this team for a long time and probably make a couple of all-star games. Like he's really good. He's just getting the timing down and struggling at the moment. But Riley Green is different, man. That dude is gonna has the potential to be the best player on a World Series winning team. Like he is unbelievable. And like that's what I was trying to drive home like last season when they were both crushing the ball in Toledo and everybody's like, oh, like call Torque up, like whatever.
Go Rockets.
Like man, like Like they're both like I love them both, and they're both going to be good or whatever. And Torkelson's going to have hopefully a phenomenal career, but like Riley Green is different, man.
Well, and
Riley
Scott, we've
Green's
also just
a
talked about
franchise builder.
When it like comes to prospects, though, like it's so much more fun to like the guy that mashes is great, but like all top prospects can smoke double A pitching.
Right.
It's I'll see it. There's nothing like an outfield prospect. It's like a guy that can
or
play
shortstop,
center field.
man. Like you give me like a really good shortstop prospect, it's over, dog. Like that's so, just like Bobby Witt, man. Like
exactly,
dude. Oh, so fun to watch, man.
And Rudy, like I said, as a big Bobby Witt, that's a dynasty league I'm in. Like I'm in. Bobby Witt was in my Mike Trout trade. I'll put it that way. I traded away Mike Trout. Yeah, I mean I got Julio Urias and Bobby Witt and somebody else out of that. That's, I think, still a prospect that I think I flipped for Garrett Cole. So I basically got Garrett Cole, Bobby Witt, and Julio Urias for Mike Trout, which I'm fine with. But, like, dude, the Bobby Witt thing, even when he's struggling, it's so much fun to just watch. Like, as long as the defense is there, that's what makes those prospects so nice.
He's such a good base runner, too, man. Bobby Witt is a hell of a base runner. So my original point going into that conversation was just like every team has had a player that sucked for them,
Boston
and then
couple on the TV
sucked for them and then went somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like everybody's had that, but it's totally different to be like. Did you just see the couple, Rudy?
No.
I did. Okay,
I did now. I had one more thing to add to that. I had one more thing to add to that. Sucked for the team.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be. All I was gonna say is, you're asking if there's a Cub or Royal who did that. My only thought is, if that happens to Jason Hayward, I will become a convicted felon.
Which
is totally feasible and reasonable, rather.
Clip when Jason Hayward is hitting 385 for the Oakland Athletics, and
right.
They're magically in a September playoff race.
Carson
Hayward has 11 home runs in September.
I'm gonna go vomit real quick.
I truly can't. And like, if Hayward did do it, that would be like exactly like as close to a copy and paste of a situation as you can get. But I'm just like, I'm trying to think of, we've had like young dudes that we've given up on and ended up being good. We've had players we've traded away and been good. I don't know if there's any like.
Do I need to bring up? Or there is an example from my ball club that everyone likes to try. Well, there's two actually. I should say. It's Randy Arozarena.
Okay, but again, that's a prospect. Like that's not.
Yeah, he's young.
I mean, he was on the team.
Yeah, but he was still literally on top 100 prospect list. Like he was literally still like technically. If you go back and watch footage of the 2019
playoffs, like it's so crazy to see Arozarena in the Cardinals gear, like on the bench and stuff.
Yeah,
it's like
wild.
It's like Jose Martinez and Randy Arozarena sitting next to each other. I'm like, that feels like 15 years ago. And that was 3.
Jose Martinez,
Cubs legend, dude.
Cubs legend Jose Martinez. Yeah.
That's my point. Like, there's so there's so many. Oh, did the umpire just get drilled?
Oh,
I think he did.
He's walking it off. Hit the Joe West. Got flex on him. You all right, big man?
Like every team has failures in that regard, but paying someone that much, having them suck for so many years, and then like multiple years, and then leaving and being incredible, that's unique. And like that's what. Oh, it bounced first. He's fine. What are we talking about?
So here's my question. Like,
that might be a fair ball though.
He called it fair.
Oh, okay, good for him.
He called it fair. He kept like gesturing, like, look, if once you watch if they'll show it long enough, he kept like, because Dahlback, I think, is like talking to him.
Yeah.
Dahlback
at third is a crazy decision, but anyway.
I mean, do they have like a back? I guess they have
Rafi Devers. What are we talking?
No, like a backup. I meant like a backup third baseman. I was like, is it Yairo Munoz? He was on the Red Sox, wasn't he?
Are they not rocking with Devers tonight? sitting him on the bench.
He's a little banged up, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's gotten a few nights off the last couple of weeks. Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of Red Sox, how about that big old crybaby Chris Sale moment we saw? That was just
man. I'll be honest. I like that. That's like not something I would ever slander an athlete for.
I mean, I wouldn't
like. These are the best competitors on the planet. I don't care if it's Single A or the World Series. Like, honestly, I kind of like that. If we're being completely honest,
Scott, I'll put it this way: if he's on your team, if it was my team, right? Like if I saw Flaherty do that during a rehab start, I'd be like, I'm like, that's my ace. But he's not on my team, so I'm like, grow up. I think it's just the optics of, is he on your team?
Yeah, I just like that doesn't bother me like literally at all. And anything I kind of, like I said, if anything, I kind of like it. Like I
Chris Sale is also a G though. I still
with
think that he galaxy brained the like jersey sleeve thing so he wouldn't get traded at the trade deadline. I still think he did that. Everyone was like, "Oh, he just didn't like the." I'm like, no, I think he cut those on purpose to just tank his trade value. Because like, what team is going to trade for that guy? Like, oh, we just had to scratch his start right before the deadline. We had to scratch it for team disciplinary reasons.
Uh-oh.
Man, some of those sagas of the mid 2010s White Sox will never fail to entertain, I should say.
Yeah, they were some of the best days of my life, Rudy. I will cherish them forever.
Scott, can I ask though, as a divisional rival opponent, this would be a hard question for me. Is it more fun when they're so miserable and the expectations are on the floor?
I'm so glad, by the way, that we got the weirdest angles of that important play, and half the screen is just Alex Verdugo walking forward and backward again.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah. Or is it more fun watching the White Sox do this year when they have, I believe, the same record as the Orioles?
Yeah, all of the above.
Like, I'm asking which one's more fun.
Yes, I don't know. They're both awesome. I don't know. Like I don't. You know, everyone knows my opinion of La Russa. Every morning, it's the gift that keeps on giving, and every morning, no matter how sad I am, it brings a smile to my face. So like that will always bring a smile to my face. And yeah, the fact that NBC Chicago tweeted out the Will Smith gif of him looking around the empty room and them going, us wondering if the rest of the division is going to show up this year and then not being even 500 by the All-Star break. Yeah, that makes me incredibly happy.
One of the worst team associated accounts for any team in professional baseball.
Literally,
NBC Sports.
One of the worst Twitter accounts on the app.
And Rudy, genuinely. I'm sorry to do this to you, but whoever's running that @Cubs handle needs to get fired, man. That dude's
it's not great. It's not great.
You know who I do like though? I do like what's the one where like their profile pictures, the Ivy?
Bleacher Nation. He's
Bleacher Nation. I like Bleacher Nation a lot.
They've got some hits. They've got some misses, but they've got some hits. I will say, as a Cardinals fan, sometimes I'm like, nice, and other times I'm like,
I like Bleacher.
He's been for since the World Series, if not longer. He's been probably my top Cubs follow.
I think it's my dad's go-to as well.
Yeah.
I usually go to @AShortKing for all my Cardinals news because the @Cardinals account is dry. Do you actually have me muted, Scott?
No. Obviously not, no.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like,
No, I don't have anyone on DD muted. I think I don't even know.
Hold on.
I'm trying to think of how many accounts I just have period
I gotta
muted.
Stop talking. Never mind.
I don't know how many accounts I have period muted. I don't think it's very many.
That episode of Seinfeld? For those who are not, the episode where Jerry sets the Pez dispenser on. Yep, Rudy. When Jerry sets the Pez dispenser on Elaine's leg, and she's like cracking up during the like opera performance because of like how out of pocket that was. That's how I felt right now after Scott was like, "Yeah, I don't have."
I have one question. I have one question.
No, I'm kidding. I'm not Peyton muted. You do have a question.
NNF MP?
No. I don't know. I did not have that anonymous person muted.
So I almost unfollowed one of those. Okay, we don't need to have this conversation on air.
Dirty laundry. Dirty laundry.
Absolutely a horrible idea, I'm realizing.
So I have Bentley Scotty muted on Twitter. That dude just
there's definitely a lot of people that do.
That guy just, listen, man, like, it's like, dude, we get it. You can't decide if Gregory Soto should be the closer. No, I'm playing him.
There's definitely a lot of people that agree with that sentiment.
I did see, I think it was, I was either your tweet or somebody else at the Tigers fan that I'm mutuals with that was like, oh, well, Gregory Soto just got named an all-star and this fan base is about to have a meltdown.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah. I think my exact word was, this was the most predictable thing ever. And this fan base is about to implode.
Yep. Yeah.
It should have been Alex Lang.
Isn't it so cool that both of our closers were the commissioner's legacy pick, dude? That was, I thought that was so nice.
Yeah. Definitely.
For all the contributions Gregory Soto has made.
It's really funny to me that like they did the like Pujols and Miggy thing like that like sure that makes sense, but like Miggy's literally playing next year. So
so like I think he's gonna get another one then because of it. Like,
well, I think
that's dumb.
He should.
Or unless maybe
I'm a Tigers fan. I worship Miguel Cabrera. That's dumb. He should not get 2 to end his career just because he's Miguel Cabrera.
Here's my thought is, and I'm, being fresh off a trip to the Hall of Fame, it's interesting to look at these guys and say, oh, they made X career all-star game appearances. Well, clearly when you get to a certain point, still today, you just get all-star game appearances based on what you did 8 years ago.
Right.
Yeah. So the Pujols selection,
Miggy more all stars than Pujols, by the way. Continue.
I mean, all right, cool.
Okay. I didn't. Okay.
All right.
Cool.
Like,
yeah, I thought it was cool. That's why I said it.
Have to, I mean, why we we don't need to get into the weeds of that debate.
It's not a debate. Peak Pujols was better.
Thank you. Okay, good. I didn't want to be rude, but yeah.
No, I'm not one of those. No, I'll take. I don't think Pujols ever had a like. I think I looked at it like really in depth one day. I want to say it was like a 6 or 7 year stretch that Miggy had. That like I'm not sure Pujols ever had a 6 or 7 year stretch. But if you're talking just peak to peak, like Pujols absolutely is like peak.
Pujols was a Barry Bonds not taking steroids away from probably having like 6 MVPs.
Yeah, definitely.
Like if Bonds,
how many does he have?
3.
Yeah,
2004 would probably be Beltre, no?
And he finished second in 2002, second in 2003, third in 2004, second in 2006, and second in 2010 as well. Like there's an
6 and 10 are not Bonds years, but
correct. But yeah, in 10 he definitely should have won without a doubt in the world. But is what it is.
Who did win 10?
Joey Votto.
Oh, right. That's why you hate him for no reason. Yeah.
Well, no, that's not the no reason. That's the reason right there. Right. It's not no reason. It's he stole an MVP from a guy that was more deserving. Like
Joey Votto quite literally had a better OPS, but go off.
Look at WAR.
Yeah. Okay, half a win.
Yeah, half a win. I'm taking that. More valuable player. It's the most valuable player.
For you to despise Joey Votto over half a win is whack.
If that's the MVP snub that you will forever, if that's the MVP snub that you will forever be caught up on over half a win in B-WAR
and a lower OPS, that's crazy, dude. That's crazy. You're hanging your head on defensive play from first base right now. That's nuts.
Because he was actually a good defender. Pujols was actually
I agree. He was a phenomenal, especially like back in 2010 it was probably even a little lesser. Like in his peak, man. I mean, and that's why he was, if you're talking about value, like he was more valuable than Miggy because Miggy was like winning triple crowns and leading in every single like offensive category and was like 6.5 win, 7 win player because
Joey Votto had more F4 by the way in 2010.
Oh, you hate to see that, truly. You really do.
It's close. Like I'm not gonna sit here and say that like it's it was like this like blowout, but it's my favorite team and it's a divisional rival too. Like if this was
shout out Joey Votto.
if this was like God, I'm on camera for that quote. If like, if we're talking, I don't even know what like a name drop from like 2010 I could use. Like if BJ Upton randomly had like a 10 WAR season, I'd have been like, yeah, all right, like cool. Like no, there was no hatred there, but it's all circumstance. What does Verdugo have in his left hand? It looks like his knuckles are taped up.
Yeah, I think he always has tape on him. They are.
That's
it's like actual tape. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's interesting.
I think it's
right there.
it's for like, I don't know, like his glove, like better grip inside his glove or something. I don't know.
If there's one Albert Pujols MVP finish that's a head scratcher, it's got to be 07, right?
Yes.
That he won?
No, he got ninth.
He got ninth because the Cardinals were bad. That it was like it's the only losing season that the Cardinals have had in my lifetime. So like narrative ball, and he only had like 30 homers and 100 RBI.
Dude, Prince Fielder over 1,000 in 158 games, and he had 3.6 WAR in 2007.
Nuts. That is absurd, dude.
And then you've got Ryan Howard, 976 OPS, 2.9 WAR.
Unreal, dude.
Both finished ahead.
Ryan Howard, baby.
Prince Fielder having that little WAR, flirting. Ryan Howard having that little WAR, harassment. That's all I got to say. That is the definition of flirting versus harassment right there.
It's like the empowering versus put a shirt on.
Yeah, exactly.
So funny.
When did I say that? Oh, I said that about fireworks on the 4th of July. I was like, canceling them out of protest for this country, empowering. Canceling them for the weather, put a shirt on. It's like, you got to cancel it for the right reasons.
Yeah, I'm still very caught up on players that we paid that were good after we got rid of them. And like we had a laundry list.
Oh, Scott Rowland was also better than Albert Pujols in 2004, by the way.
Shout out Scott Rowland, man.
Oh, should be Hall of Famer.
Hoff.
Should be, yeah.
Like first ballot, even. I'm not.
We should talk. We should talk All-Star.
Oh yeah, did we pull up the roster?
We should talk All-Star. So for starters, the reps from all of our teams. I have Soto, undeserved. Rudy, you have Benintendi for Royals, and then who for the Cubs?
Contreras and Happ.
Okay, deserved all around. I think
our two potential trade candidates are All-Stars.
Yeah, I think that's deserved all around by both teams. Who are the C asterisk RDS reps?
All deserved. Your starter
Arenado.
is Mr. Paul Goldschmidt. You have Nolan Arenado at the hot corner, and best reliever in baseball, Ryan Helsley.
So
that is for now, but I have predictions on what's going to happen with. I think we're going to get more.
Okay. Do you have any? Is Goldschmidt starting?
Yes, he had like 70% of the vote.
Okay, good. That's deserved. Is Nato a reserve or is he starting?
He was a reserve, but the vote was like 50-50 between Machado and Arenado. I mean, like third base is such an embarrassment of riches. Like if he had started out a bit, I obviously voted for him to start, but like what?
Sorry, I'm just realizing that we still have no outs in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Yep. Welcome back, Rudy.
Yeah,
I feel like we ought to be in the 7th by now.
We were all wondering who could have done this. Yeah,
thanks, I was Rudy. I thought Rudy was dogging on my take of like third base is an embarrassment of riches. I'm like, dude, what? I'm like his deepest position in the sport.
Do you guys want to? Do you want to take a break after the 4th?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, like Nato's a reserve, and then Helsley, I guess, is the closer, quote unquote. If it's like I don't know how how you like tier rank relievers for the All-Star game, but like
that's tough. But
if Brian Snitker was like making a bullpen, he would get listed as like the closer for the National League. So
sure, yeah, fair enough. I mean, 3 reps that's pretty solid. It's a good day at the office.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking to 2 guys who.
Oh, and Pujols. Sorry.
3. Well, yeah, sure.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess technically then I have 2 as well.
Right.
technically, but Miggy is hitting over 300.
No, yeah, that's the thing, right? Like he's the legacy. I think that's why he's the legacy selection is like who's like an OG that just like deserves a little bit of love for the season they're having.
Well, I mean,
or
I
are
think
you retiring at the end of the year? Like it's one of those two.
Yeah, like
but
the NBA did the same thing with they did that for Dirk and D Wade, right? Like Dirk and D Wade were both on their way out and just gave them legacy spots so that they could, do it. Like it's very much the same thing. I just and like if you want to do it this year because like Pujols and Miggy both going out at the same time is like a cool thing. That's totally fine. And like I get it. It's just weird to me that like Miggy's gonna play next year and he's almost getting like a farewell tour type of thing this year. It's weird.
What if he OPS is like 800 next year? That'd be so sick, dude.
What if a pig literally flew?
That would also be sick.
Right in front of my front window here.
That would also be sick. I mean, what's the OPS now? Like 750? Like, is it that outrageous?
Yeah, no, I think it's about like 740-ish. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, all right.
It's 300 batting average, and I think he has the highest percentage of singles as hits with like a qualified hitter in all of baseball. Like there's just no power anymore, none whatsoever, zero, negative. But the eye in the average are very much still there this year. So. There you go. 99 WRC plus Wolves fan 86 says.
Shout out the boy.
Shout out.
Yeah. Speaking of our old timers though, Scott, Albert Pujols carried the Cardinals to a win today, and I felt like I was 10 years old again. I like 3 for 4 with like a clutch bomb in the 6th inning. I was like, what is happening? I'm like, because we're on a skid right now, and like I'm like, is Pujols gonna light the fire? I'm like, is this geriatric old man? Whatever cartilage is left in his knees, all the weight is on his shoulders right now, and he's taking us to the wild card 3 slot. Sure.
Yeah, the thing is with Miggy, like he shouldn't be winning us as many games as he is. Like this, our offense is just horrid, and like. Yeah, like 740 OPS. Miguel Cabrera is like the best hitter on the team, which is
throwback.
Sad. It's really sad. Yeah.
No, so I do have some predictions about that though. There's obviously gonna be some injury replacements. I think Miles Michaelis is gonna be an injury replacement and make the All-Star game. And you look at his numbers. I mean, it's like a 2.6 ERA with the whips under 1. Like he's just shoving. He just is. If there is a position player that needs replaced, good Christ in heaven, Tommy Edman. Like, it's just like, what are we doing here? Like,
Wolves fan 86 having a field day in chat right now.
I'm sorry.
You'd love to see it.
I'm sorry, man.
I love Wolves fan 86, man.
Go look at the numbers.
One of my favorite commenters.
Go look at the numbers. Go look at the numbers, man. I'm telling you. He's been so good. And obligatory plug. I think
did he drop that?
I'm about a half second behind you. They're probably gonna rule that
transition.
Yeah, one of these, even though he's not an infielder, which is
what the heck was that? Oh, okay. That's very clearly on the transition. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was weird.
I also will say, I really hope they use the legacy slot next year for Adam Wainwright, because I just crunched the numbers because he just didn't get named again. And I was like, my God, since 2020 in 59 starts, a 3.1 ERA, a 1.09 whip, and a 1.28 ERA plus at ages 38, 39, and 40. And he has not been an all-star in any of those seasons.
Yeah, but like, I mean, I would imagine that there's usually enough starting pitchers that have a sub-3 ERA at the halfway mark to justify that. Like the only reason that's impressive is because he's 40. Like if this was that was a 28-year-old and you said those stats, you wouldn't be like, it's absurd that he's not an all-star.
Well, right.
Like,
That's I'm just saying, like at a certain point, right? Like you got to acknowledge, like,
Yeah, if you want to do the legacy thing for him, that's fine. But like,
Yeah.
just based on pure numbers, I'm like, I don't know. Like, it's good and it's very impressive. Don't get me wrong. But like, as far as getting voted into the All-Star game,
The votes thing is hard. It's because he's not.
If he wasn't 40, like
he's not a sexy vote for the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Are you talking about fan voting? Fans don't vote on pitchers.
No, I mean even for players, because it's like he just, it's like, oh, he's like got a 7K per 9, and he like,
Rudy, tell us about fan voting, Rudy. Tell us about the Royals. What year was that again?
Oh, let's know. Oh, he's also a Cubs fan. He's the fan of the 2 single biggest merchant All-Stars I've ever seen in my life. It makes me sick.
We talked about the Cubs one earlier. Yeah.
Who was a merchant All-Star from the Cubs in 2016?
Oh my! All right, I'll pull it up. Let's look at the 2016. Let's look at
the Royals. Yes, merchant All-Stars. The Cubs.
Okay, do that. We're going to a break. Do that while we're on our break.
Yeah,
we'll be back to the top of 5.
Steam coming out of the top of my head.
So that's a double and not a home run.
That is a terrible call.
Rhys Hoskins is pissed.
I can't circle. I don't have my telestrator today, but here comes a pizza.
There's the pizza. Let's go. The pizza is here.
The pizza has made it.
Look who's on my TV.
Boo! Boo!
Boo! Oh!
There it goes! There it goes!
Look at the drive!
Kevin Kiermaier.
All right. So back we are, top 5 here.
Yes, leadoff base hit.
So 2016 All-Star Game. Should we hash this out before Scott's back?
Real quick, okay? Here's the thing, right? I just put it in the chat. The only person that shouldn't have made it was Addison Russell. Below average hitter, should not have made the All-Star Game, in my opinion. I think that's a fair statement to say.
I just want to go back and look at this.
The only person that should have, Chris Bryant and Ben Zobrist were the only two that should have started at their respective positions as well.
Let's see.
Paul Goldschmidt should have started at first base. And
Oh, wow.
hello.
I just came back, and that's already being talked about.
Well, we're getting into the 2016. Why I
Are you
said
looking at
this.
first half, or are you looking at full season now?
I mean,
I'm going for first half here.
Because you should absolutely only look at first half.
well, I'm talking about just Scott. I already said the only person I think that shouldn't have made it. Period was Russell.
Addison?
Yeah. And in terms of starting, I would have only started Bryant and Zobrist.
Right. I'm just saying, like, if you're looking at and comparing stats, you have to look at only first half. Because, like, I mean, you can do with any year who should have deserved it, whatever, at the end of the season. But, you know, when the voting
Yeah, for
happens,
sure.
you only have the first half. Oh, here comes Carson's favorite player.
Put that on me. Don't put that.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
That's exactly what. Yeah.
Oh, here's the Chris Sale meltdown.
Hey, look, there it is. I do think it is really funny. I saw someone tweet about it's really funny that Max Scherzer is making his way through the minor leagues, and it's steak dinner and free AirPods, and then Chris Sale makes his rehab start and is like, I am going to destroy the locker room.
Wolves fan 86. I'm a firm believer that if you play for the Cardinals, you should be an all-star.
It's a good answer. It's a great answer, dude. It's a great answer.
Oh, look at Dylan Vindy Stan. The dog. The absolute dog.
Yeah, we need you know what Diamond Dynasty needs? We need 90s pro wrestling factions and stuff.
Matt Carpenter's OPS is now 1317. 1317 OPS for Matt Carpenter.
Shave that mustache off and reveal yourself, Barry Bonds. You're not fooling anybody. You're not fooling anybody.
1370.
You know what also? You know what also makes me even more upset? Is the fact that he also looks insanely better. He had that homeless man ass beard when he played.
Yeah, the mustache is old.
He looks really good.
He looks so much better too.
Wait, hold on.
I'm like, what is this?
Okay, run this back, Carson, because you said Anthony Rizzo should not have been a starter in the 2016 All-Star break game.
Yep. Here we come.
Wrong in that sense, but
led the league among first baseman WAR at the All-Star break and had a 164 WRC plus.
Again, I said he should. I'm not saying he shouldn't have been there. That was very clear.
You're saying he shouldn't have started when he was the best first baseman in the league.
Okay, well, that's
Bang.
bias.
I'm just saying, man, that's my point about first half of the when you look back, man, you the first half of the season stuff.
Always... look, Rudy in the chat. There's a Brewers fan complaining because their team sucked 10 years ago and they don't like to talk about it. Get that out of here.
All I'm saying is you said Paul Goldschmidt should have started instead. Rizzo had a higher batting average, same OP, 80 points higher in slugging, 23 points higher WRC plus, almost a full win better.
I will say Goldie in 2016 we did have a strong second half. That was the year he stole 30 bases.
I don't care about the second half. We're talking about the 2016 All-Star.
Well, no, I'm just saying the whole point. I just said,
Carson, we've done this. We've done this before.
That's all I said. Is I said he had a stronger second half. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That's all I was saying.
Someone get him a cookie.
Man,
It's not a cookie. It's me acknowledging the conversation we're having. I could ignore you, or I could keep talking about it. Come on now.
Rudy, I think it's funny looking back on that clip that I have. I think we were on the This Week in Baseball. And I think we were talking about Javi.
I've never seen him.
And you said you'll pull a whole tray of cookies out of the oven.
I've seen Matt Carpenter run something out in like 5 years, by the way. That was awful to watch. Dude, your mic is picking that up big time, pal. That's all I gotta say. I can hear that.
Wolfspan 86. Rudy, what are you eating at all?
Popsicles.
Those popsicles go crazy, man. I miss those.
They do. What do you mean you missed them?
I just haven't had one in a while.
Oh, okay.
Carson thinks Paul Goldschmidt should have started the 2016 All-Star game.
Listen, man, Paul Goldschmidt's first half. Paul Gold should be
half.
president of this country with the first half he's having. Good God.
Oh, he plays for the Cardinals. Careful there.
Hey,
Yeah, all right, dude.
That was a banger.
Yeah, that's the deciding factor. Yeah, with professional baseball players, it's only certain teams, and definitely not all of them.
Yep. Agreed.
Yep, for sure, dude. Yeah, that's definitely.
No,
I completely.
I'm
agree.
definitely going to selectively ignore the fact that my team did not meet the vaccination threshold last year. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to selectively ignore the Cardinals were the first team to hit it too? Because that also happened.
We were the first team to get 100%. We were one of the only teams last year.
See, that was partially due to Eric Sogard, and I refuse to acknowledge his existence as a human being. So.
Bang.
Most down bad I've ever been was watching Eric Sogard pitch live to the Phillies after they shelled last summer. That was my lowest moment as a baseball fan.
Rudy, describe to me the physical characteristics of a human being who watches Eric Sogard highlight tapes on YouTube.
Oh God.
Scott, how much money? How much money for you to include that on your Twitter thread of random highlight reels that you watch? How much like Eric Sogard?
Okay, no lie.
You would actually have to pay me money to make my friends make my friends sit through Eric Sogard highlights. You would I want
like Eric Sogard base running highlights, just
okay.
the worst time. Like
I'm not.
Wow, that was a really good read on that tag up on a sack fly. Like he advanced to third there. That's good.
I want to know what a physical description of what that person looks like.
At the moment, it might be me because I'm so interested in how many views these highlight reels could possibly have.
Let's look up Eric Sogard highlight tape.
Yeah. Scott, it's probably some like loser with striped walls and like an Emery flag, like just
probably like people that wear banana hats.
Yeah, all right. It's probably people who have just gargantuan sized melons for heads, so they can't wear hats. That's probably the kind of people that watch Eric Sogard.
Eric Sogard 2017 highlights has 7.4K views.
Who's watching
this?
Did you say 2017?
2017.
Bang.
He OPS 770 and hit 3 home runs.
Bang.
I mean, like. That's like that. There's a TikTok
YouTube
account called that's like pretty good basketball highlights. So people will request like, can you show like a pretty good inbound? And it's just like like an inbound pass. We're like, yeah, that was pretty good.
My favorite one of those tweets is when people started doing it. The first time I saw a description of a type of person to watch a certain player's highlight tape was Al Horford. Like two years ago, when that was like the big thing on Twitter, when everybody was like, "This dude definitely watches Al Horford." It's like,
dude, did you see?
I gotta use that now.
During
this
the
dude watches
during the NBA Finals, it was one of those like street interviews, and they were like, "Who on the Celtics would you give would you cheat on your boyfriend with?" And the girl's first answer was Al Horford. Yeah, I'm not kidding.
Okay.
She had the whole Celtics to choose from, and she said Al Horford.
Eric Sogard 2019 highlights, where he had an 810 OPS in 110 games, 2.2K.
Going crazy.
Under a 4-minute long video.
Oh man, this one's doing numbers.
We also have
Yo, our
Eric
producer.
Sogard 20. There's so many highlight tapes of Eric Sogard. What is happening to this
There's
country?
way
What
too.
if we stumbled
Eric Sogard,
across-
Eric Sogard, nerd power.
Eric Sogard
just-
2015 athletic highlights 7K.
I'd like to
Eric
give,
Sogard 2015 highlights 1.8K.
I'd like to give an announcement on behalf of Diamond Digest. We have decided to submit Eric Sogard 2019 YouTube highlights to the Library of Congress. We will.
I'm
keep
watching
you
this
posted.
right now.
It's just add it to the thread. It's got to go on the thread. It's got to go on the
No, I just realized if I do it, I have to add it. I don't want to add this to the thread.
Yeah, add it to the thread.
I haven't pressed play yet. You can't. I haven't pressed play yet.
I think you press play.
I haven't pressed play yet.
Whatever you need to tell yourself.
Can I share my screen?
Yeah, that's how we'll get. I'll get banned on Twitch for a week for showing Eric Sogard highlights. That's a sword I'm willing to fall on.
Okay, so I do actually.
I don't think I.
I
Can.
brought up Eric Sogard in the context of him being a position player pitching, and I think this is a discussion worth having because I saw someone tweet
Alright.
about this, that pretty much the entire allure of position players pitching is just gone because it happens so regularly now, and they suck.
I think that's like the only context in which it's fun is if your team is winning by 12 and you do it, then it's fun. And then it's still cool and everybody loves to see it. And they go, oh, who are we going to put out to get like the save? It's not a save, but you get my point. Like who's going to like, then it's fun. If your team is losing by 12 and you're throwing out like for us specifically, like we just always throw out Harold Castro when we're losing or Cody Clemens because like, oh, we have a Clemens on the mound. Ha ha. Like we're down 12 and we're 13 games under 500. This isn't fun to me. But like,
Right.
so I completely agree with you at this point when we're losing. Maybe it's just because my team sucks and we've had it happen a lot, but like when you're winning by a ton and you do it, I still think it's fun, but I completely agree when you're losing, it's no longer really, that doesn't have the same lure that it did a couple of years ago.
I'd like to offer that I think there's a caveat to that though, because if you're losing and you're throwing it out, there is a caveat, right? Like if I see Ivan Herrera get up on the mound when our team is down 9 and he's busting out like a 68 mile an hour like slider, like, and then he'd pump like an 80 mile an hour fastball right after. That's awesome. Like I didn't know you had that in you. Like that I do like. It's brutal when the guy's just lobbing it at like 45, but when you get a guy up there that like, yeah, I pitched a little bit in college and they're bust out a little sinker or something and it's got like it like looks real enough. I do like that as well. Like when we were watching Cardinals Giants and the Cardinals was like 18-4 and they had the Giants had Luis Gonzalez throwing an 85 mile an hour fastball. I was like I'm enjoying this. Like that's nice.
Fair. Yeah, I don't know. I saw that and I hadn't really considered it because obviously, Cut 4 for that one season had the thread where they did like every position player.
I think they're still
I
running
think that's the same thread. I think they're still
still
pushing it. Yeah.
Yes.
Christ almighty.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. I guess I haven't seen it as much this year, but I'm pretty sure they do.
Rudy, how awesome is it? Sorry, real quick. It's just a little NL Central moment for us. Yeah.
Yep.
You just left at the Christian Yelich contract?
Yeah,
baby. $189 million for that bomb.
Who?
Christian
Yelich.
Yelich, dude. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. This is phenomenal.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like a fine Italian.
It's like Cardinals fans, Cubs fans, handshake. LOL.
Christian Yelich contract, yeah, 100,000%, dude. It's Pirates fans, Reds fans, like we're all singing Kumbaya around the campfire, going LMFAO. They have to pay Christian Yelich like $35 million a year in like 3 years, right when like Corbin Burns and all those guys are gonna like need extensions. They're gonna have about $33 million AAV committed to Christian Yelich. And
Oh,
that
good.
is
So they have to
juicy.
grow up and realize that they can pay them all anyway.
Yes, or they won't because they're a cheap organization.
Facts.
The Angels have a position player pitch every sixth.
I mean, looking at how your season's going, still not as bad as Rendon's.
Rendon's contract is brutal.
My dad has the ultimate like I told you so moment with Rendon. My dad has been a Rendon hater his entire career and was like, I just don't think he's that good. I don't think he's that good. And I was like,
Garrett's my OG Rendon hater.
well, like even when he was on the Nats and stuff, my dad was like, just don't like him. I don't think he's a good player. Like I think he's gonna bust. And I was like, dude, come on. Like he's a guy. He's had like a good career. And he's like, nope. And then now my dad's like, I told you. And I'm like,
Garrett says your dad knows ball.
His home run that cleared the Crawford boxes in Game 6 was still hard, though.
Yeah. Mike Melinder either has insanely good
he was
takes
great
or
that
insanely bad takes about baseball. My dad there's a lot of extremes with my dad's baseball takes.
Most home runs in the first half for the Yankees since 1933. Judge is tied for second with himself and A-Rod.
Yes.
Only Roger Maris has more.
And that's the year he hit 61, right? 60, right?
Correcto.
Yeah,
yes.
There's no way Roger Maris ever came close to.
Roger Maris was literally not good outside of the 1 year. So
yeah,
it's definitely just the 60.
Does Roger Clemens have frosted tips? Is that what I'm looking at?
I don't think it's frosted tips. I think it's just spiked blonde hair.
That
shout out Cody Clemens though.
That guy had brunette hair his career.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I have no clue. I'm not up to date with my Roger Clemens hair situation.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're not up to date with the lore of the players in your organization's dad?
No. Well, dude, it's actually so funny because he Cody. It took like a week for Cody Clemens to get his first hit.
I remember this. Yeah,
maybe even more. And Roger was just buying sweets for their whole family and following the team around everywhere we went. God. And he just like couldn't get it. And then Roger kept following the team, but the rest of the family stopped. And then he finally got it. So, I think
you think he was just trying to play a prank on his dad? Like, let's see how long.
Oh my, Vasquez again? Oh, off the wall.
A Stantonian homer.
Why is he not sliding? Wow. Christian Vasquez.
Also, can we talk about
it's a 2-run game?
I want to talk about this real quick. Because he did make the he did not make it's off the wall, but Aaron Hicks, if you like just take out like the month of May from his stat line, like if May did not happen for him, I'm pretty sure he'd have like an 850 OPS on the year. He has been red hot in June, red hot in July, had a pretty good April, but his May was miserable. And like overall he's been like fine, but like I saw a tweet about it where I was like, it just like broke his numbers down if you exclude May. It was nuts.
Yeah, that sounds about right. If you do that with the entire Tigers organization, we're not having a bad year.
Just like last year. You guys should just cancel every game in May. And then I think...
Yeah, dude, because it's really cool for teams like north of Kentucky to play a fifth of their season in 30-degree weather. It's super cool.
Hey, man, global warming will take care of that, all right?
Okay.
At this rate, it'll be, opening day in Detroit will be 88 degrees.
Don't ask about opening day in Miami.
Well, that's going to be underwater. They're going to have to build like a SpongeBob type shit. Oh, JD Martinez! Tie game!
Oh! There he goes! There he goes!
Swing and a drive!
Kevin Kiermaier.
Kevin Kiermaier.
Not Kevin Kiermaier, but bang.
The classic 6+1 because the 7 on that font was so atrocious.
Oh, that's right. I forgot how bad we all hated the 7.
Garrett in the chat said Anthony Rendon doesn't hustle. Your dad, myself. I'll text my dad and ask why he doesn't like Rendon. He might just say he stinks now, but
Carson, do you want to know the answer?
So what? Sorry.
Never mind.
Swing and a.
My dad's a Cubs fan, pal. So go ahead, finish your thought. Why is that? Why does Cubs fan Mike Melinder not like Anthony Rendon? Go ahead.
No.
It's because he's a Trump supporter. That's why. No. Well, that's probably part of it, but.
Okay.
That's Mike's political opinion. He doesn't work here.
Hey, man. Love the Ricketts family. That's all I got to say.
Oh, my God.
Just really love the Ricketts family.
Hey, Rudy, just blink twice if there's a gun being pointed to your head on camera.
How the mighty have fallen. Aroldis Chapman is now getting, what, the 6th he's going to get?
Well, he's at best, what, their third best reliever at best?
That's at very much best. He's been pretty atrocious since coming back from injury.
That's what I mean. Like if we're fantasy drafting Yankees relievers, I mean, I'm taking Clay Holmes 1, Michael
Holmes
King
is
2.
1-1, yeah.
And then I think those are the clear cut 1 and 2 in that bullpen.
For sure.
Oh yeah, Tyone, it's definitely the pitch comm that's not working. That's why you've been giving up absolute tanks all night, dude. Yeah. You just can't hear the pitch comm. That's the issue.
How has Tyone been pitching the rest of the year? I watched him not have a great game in Pittsburgh.
Hashtag not good according to our producer who's a Yankees fan.
Not good. Hashtag not good.
Yeah, hashtag not good.
Man, so this is not related to anything we've been talking about, but I was meaning to bring it up. I've now been reading, I don't know if you guys saw or, Joe Posnanski's Baseball 100.
I have not.
I don't think I have.
He like all last summer or 2020 was, I think 2020 was publishing like an article a day on his 100 greatest players ranked 100 to 1. And it got published in book form. So we were at the Hall of Fame and they have a bookstore at the Hall of Fame. And I was like, okay, it would be sick to get this book at the Hall of Fame and read it since these are pretty much all Hall of Famers. It's a phenomenal book. It's so good.
Rudy, I'm not laughing at you. Would you guys like to know the reason my dad never liked Anthony Rendon?
What's that?
He just texted me back because of his stupid goatee.
Garrett is going to love that one.
He hated Anthony Rendon for a decade.
Garrett is going to love that one.
Yeah, I can't lie to you. That's me, but Jose Abreu, so.
Jose Abreu just sucks, Rudy. We can talk about that.
Okay,
really.
But his little rubber band beard situation was awful.
I cannot stand him.
The
Holy
little beard ponytail Abreu had going on.
Jose Abreu must have a 3,000 OPS against the Tigers in his career.
Garrett in the chat, all caps, just said preaching about Rendon and goatee situation. Wow, yeah, Tyone's last 4 starts have been garbage.
Bad, if you will.
So going back to the All-Star game, Rudy, is there Carson kind of broke his down. Is there anybody else that Doogie? Oh, I thought he was gonna drop.
What did you just say?
Doogie?
Oh, okay.
I
heard it with a K instead of a G there. I was like, do we need to take a break after this happening, or?
Is there on the Cubs? The answer is definitely no. But is there anyone on the Royals that deserved it any more than Benintendi?
I would actually flip your sentiments. If anything,
really.
Well, Horner's been better than than Happ by.
Is he
more.
really? Good for Nico Horner.
He's having a crazy defensive season.
Good for him.
And he's swinging it well enough. Royals, no. Pitching has been horrendous. The next best, really the only other guy you'd consider is probably Bobby, and he's not. Yeah. He's league average with the bat. So
yeah, and just like there's so much rookie, anti-rookie in the All-Star game thing, built upon a century of baseball,
which is what makes the Julio All-Star game nod so dope.
Yeah, big time.
That stat is so crazy for the Mariners. They've had 3 guys get nominated to an All-Star game at 21 or younger, and it's J-Rod, Griffey, and A-Rod.
Yeah, nuts.
Whoa.
And then
that's a disgusting amount of riches.
Well, and then he was 27 or whatever, but Ichiro literally won MVP as a rookie. They just have had so much success in young players and rookies and stuff in there.
Yeah. No rings though.
Not even an appearance in the classic.
There you go. That's how I get Garrett back on my side, is a little Mariners slander there.
Yeah, correct. So the Royals, it was just Benintendi or bust though.
Yeah, pretty much. Barlow's been okay, not world breaking. And they're leaning on him pretty heavily to the point where he's having some bad outings mixed in.
Yeah, fair enough. I
want to say, Scott, there's anybody that you think deserve a little bit more love?
I just don't think Gregory Soto should have been the Tigers All-Star representative. He was my third choice. Okay. My first choice was Alex Lang. Sub 2 ERA, whip around 1, incredible K numbers, and I don't think anymore, but for a majority of the first half of the season, that was literally the league leader in whiff percentage. He was 100 percentile in whiff percentage, and for a very long period of time. The nastiest curveball you've ever seen, the nastiest sinker you've ever seen. He's unbelievable. And like I said, sub 2. But he's not the closer. Michael Fulmer's also had a really, really solid year. He's got a 2-ish ERA, maybe a hair over 2, I think. He's had a really, really good season. And then, Greg is Greg has been – I had a very interesting year. Gregory Soto is obviously uber talented, can throw 100 with movement, but just has been – he has a 1.5 whip, dude.
He's one of my closers in fantasy.
It's insane.
And I'm always like, Greg, brother, just get the out. Get the out. And let's be
literally
done.
His whip is literally 1.5. It's insane. He walks so many people. He hits so many batters. And I think he's only blown 3 saves all year. He has good save percentage and gets the job done much more than he doesn't. But it's always let me walk the bases load and then tightrope my way to danger. Oh, we have a 3-run lead. Let me make it a 1-run lead and put the winning run on third and then barely get out of it. He really has, and he has the highest ERA of any of those 3 guys. He really, and then the as the universe works, he literally was on the mound today and gave up the go-ahead run, and then an hour later was announced the All-Star, and the fan base exploded. So, certainly we have one of the best bullpens in baseball, which is a crazy new feeling, and it's being wasted by the worst offense we've ever seen in any team in any of our lifetimes. But, it's a testament to the bullpen that I think a guy that has his numbers should have been our third. Honestly, Andrew Chafin's been unbelievable too, maybe even 4th option.
The dog.
Yes, failed starter king. So there's a legit argument that Soto was like the 4th most deserving, to be honest. But
my younger
yeah.
brother has a DH Gate Wrigleyville City Connect jersey. Andrew Chafin on the back.
Yeah, man. He bought our entire bullpen failed starter T-shirts.
Love
There
it.
you go.
Yeah,
Chapin seems like such a fun guy.
Dude, he's like everybody's fan favorite. You know what's crazy? I feel like Rudy and I may have had this conversation like earlier in the season. I don't remember though. I genuinely believe when Andrew Chafin retires, he will never watch a baseball game ever again. He doesn't care about Major League Baseball. Like he doesn't. Like when we signed him, they were like, "Oh, like how do you feel about like this young up and coming team? Like a lot of momentum, a lot of young talent, big off season." And he was like, "Oh, I don't know anything about that. I don't know any of these guys." And they're like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, I don't know anybody here, but like I'm excited to meet him." And they're like, "Okay." And he's like, "Why'd you pick to come here?" And he's like, "My agent said Tigers," and I said, "Sure." And they're like, "Okay." And then he started off first. Somebody said, "What's up? What's up?" He started off the first month of the season on the IL, or like the first 2 or 3 weeks maybe on the IL. And when he came back, we had the lowest bullpen ERA in baseball. And somebody was like, "How does it feel? Like you had a sub-2 ERA last year, and now like you're being added to like the best bullpen in baseball. Like that's got to be a super cool feeling. What's it going to be like to, know that everyone's been doing so well?" He's like, "Oh, I haven't watched a single game."
That quote I do remember. I do remember him being like,
he
"I haven't
literally
watched a
said,
single game."
"I have not watched a single game, but I'm glad everyone's doing well."
Yeah,
What he said. We were like, "What the hell?" Like he literally just wants to go home and live on his farm, and like that's it. Like he loves the game of baseball, but Major League Baseball, like the teams and who's good and who's not, he could not give less of a damn about it. It's hilarious.
What if he's like a big like D3 baseball fan? Like, they're like
D3.
He's like, "What are your thoughts on like baseball, like in just like the state of the game?" He's like, "I think St. Thomas is gonna have a pretty good year this year." Like,
he's
I'm
like,
sorry.
those boys at Emory are looking pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
Emory, baby.
Can never out of New York. You can never sleep on Salisbury either. Pretty good ball club out there. Like,
that'd be so funny.
Division III baseball. Is that what you're talking about?
Where did he play in college?
I was gonna say he might be he could be like a Division II guy.
Let's see. Kent State,
Ohio.
It's probably D1.
Yeah, it's D1.
Yeah, they're D1 for sure. Ooh, DJ LeMahieu came out.
He was a first round pick, 43rd overall.
Yeah, he was. Hell yeah.
Oh, I guess failed starter. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, big time. Compensation.
DJ LeMahieu never looks like happy.
Well,
like even when he's doing well, I just feel like he's never,
He's about the team, Carson, and he hasn't won a ring yet.
Oh, so
he
he's
won't
like
smile until he wins a ring.
He fits right in. He fits right in with the Yankee philosophy of being miserable.
Yeah, he really wants a beard really badly.
Man, don't we all? Don't we all? Doesn't everyone on this stream?
Yeah, all of us.
Literally everyone here.
Do I still have back at like a grad party I was at or something? Someone had like novelty mustaches, and so I took like a pack of them, and I'm like waiting for the right time to like bust them out, but I don't.
Man,
don't really have
crazy?
A venue to wear that at.
I feel like it would have fit so well in somewhere for some like great Red Sox player. I guess there have been great Red Sox players with beards, but like for some great Red Sox player to just rock like an all-timer beard in the face of the Yankees,
and then just like be the Yankee killer. Yeah.
Because Uke had a beard, but not
Yeah, but like then he crossed streams anyway, so like you know what I mean? Like he went and played for the enemy anyway, so like
he did, yeah. And he only had a goatee too. So, I mean, you can do better.
Yeah. Man, I'm trying to think if there's like a I guess like well, no, because he played for both of them too. I don't know. I'd have to think about that.
I mean, Big Poppy had a beard, but I feel like it's not like his identity, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure.
His Big Poppy's identity is that enormous LG red smartphone that he brings everywhere. That's Big Poppy's identity.
Big Poppy's identity, top 2 DH of all time, baby.
That was the other thing. Everything at the Hall of Fame right now, like in the gift
Top
shop
two?
and stuff, is Big Poppy right now because he's
Edgar.
Oh, I have Edgar at 1. Yeah.
I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah. Are we not?
Big
calling
Poppy
Miggy-
is the second best DH.
Are we not
of all
calling
time.
Miggy a DH?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. He was a first baseman for all of his peak years. He was a DH when he was a 0 WAR player that could barely hit.
Okay. I guess I'm new to having the DH all the time, so like I just didn't know if he, if
fair.
it was a 90 games at first base, 65 at DH, the occasional 5 at third because they were like,
Yeah, no, it was definitely like he was the everyday first baseman for almost all of it. That's only a last couple of years thing that they've made the transition to DH.
Garrett says he can tell by the way I type that I have nasty flicks. I'm sorry to report that I am actually horrendous at first-person shooter games.
Okay, there we go. Chapman is getting the 6th inning for the New York Yankees.
Second career appearance in the 6th inning.
Also, the Red Sox broadcasters, apparently, I heard from, I forget who it was, but somebody on my Twitter told me that the Red Sox broadcasters in yesterday's game or Friday's game said that Trevor Story is like a lock to win the Gold Glove at second base, and that just could not be more wrong. Jonathan Scope should get the award today. He could literally not play the rest of the season, and he
I did. I was looking at the general OA leaderboards. The highest in the league is 13, aside from Jonathan Scope's 19.
Correct. Yeah, he literally has over 5 outs above average, then literally second best in baseball at any position.
I'll say it so that way you don't, come across the risk of being too biased. I think Jonathan Scope's like a platinum glove candidate this year.
Yeah,
I really think he could win like the platinum glove.
I don't know. I genuinely think he could, he could barely play the rest of the season. He should win Gold Glove at second. Yeah, that LeMahieu play, as we're talking about second base, happened. What the heck just happened?
Why are you waving him off?
Yeah, I don't know. That's the right fielder's ball.
And like at the angle you had to take and stuff, like dude is 6'7". He could. Aaron Boone, by the way, impressive bubble popping skills. They keep.
Whoa, yeah, that was. I'm a little behind here, but.
Did you know Colton Wong is second worst defender in baseball right now? That breaks my heart, Wolves fan.
Woof.
That really upsets me.
That upsets me too. Colton Wong is one of the few Cardinals that deserves rights. So.
I'm sorry, dog. Hall of Fame for Major League Baseball is terrible. They literally induct no one.
The fact that they induct no one is why it's considered to be like the greatest honor in sports, though, in the same breath. You know what I mean? Like the Cooperstown Baseball Hall of Fame is a higher honor than getting inducted into the Hall of Fame in any other sport, and that is why. And
the Basketball Hall of Fame is they let anybody in.
Yeah, well, again, baseball is comfortably the highest, the highest honor a higher honor than the other 3 Hall of Fames. But I mean, at the same time, I voted for 10 people on my, if I had a ballot, what would I do? I put 10 people on there. So I very much get both sides of the argument, but I mean, Cooperstown is the best Hall of Fame in sports, and I think that's pretty objective. I
agree. I think right now the Hall of Fame
is
a small hall, and I think that the way that I've described how I want Major League I would like a medium baseball Hall of Fame. More people should be in, and I agree with your point though, Scott. I think you should have to fill out the ballot if you're a writer. You have 10 votes, you should use them. Because when I had the opportunity this past year, right, to vote in the first like Diamond Digest Hall of Fame voting, and there were guys that, do I necessarily know for a fact if they're a Hall of Famer or not? But I'm still going to give them the vote because I don't want them to drop off the ballot, because if there is somebody who is super pro, like, I don't know, like Tim Hudson or somebody like that, you know,
Yeah.
like if somebody wants to come up to me and make me, you know, their elevator pitch for Tim Hudson, I want to hear it. If someone wants to make their elevator pitch for no Tim Hudson, I'm open to hearing that too. That's my biggest issue. I think guys get dropped off the ballot too quickly that deserve, like Jim Edmonds was a one and done on the Hall of Fame ballot. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so do you think that
Ironically, Jim Edmonds is the other Cardinal that deserves rights, but
Well, that's why I got to play the audience here. You know,
touche.
it's, you know, it's like I went to a Cardinals game the other day, and you guys were both boo. He's like, I ran into Colton Wong and Jim Edmonds. Yay! You know, I gotta, you know.
That is me. That is actually me.
So Carson, do you think you say you think you should use 10 votes? So is that it with our current situation, or is that like hypothetically, if writers had always been using all 10 votes, they should still be today?
Yes, I think that you should use all 10 votes.
Because I think that if writers had, you know, if the overwhelming philosophy among voters was use all 10 votes, most of the guys that we would very easily vote for on the ballot right now would not be on the ballot. So then your 10 votes are different guys.
So right, and I'm fine with that though, because you got to think about let's
Also, Aroldis Chapman is imploding right now. Again.
So for the 2023 ballot, for example, right? Let me pull this up here and see if there's just like we'll use the BREF list that they always do. So for me, the guys that I'm voting for without a shred of doubt in my mind, right? Like, let me make sure I get this right here. Roland Helton, Billy Wagner, Andrew Jones, A-Rod.
So that's what I'm saying. Those guys would all already be in.
Right, but then what it allows for is like, okay, let me ask you guys this. Like, think about let me go down this list here to see if there's like a good there's a good name. Like, it'll be K-Rod's first time on the ballot. I think it will just accelerate. And guys like Scott Rowland's like his like 8th time on the ballot, and we're like, how is he still there? That's so stupid. I think that's what it accelerates. Is it bumps up that amount of like, why are we waiting so long to induct this person? Like, I guess I just don't ascribe to the. I still believe in the concept of like a first ballot Hall of Famer being this like super prestigious honor, but like once you hit second, third, like who cares? Who cares?
I think there's also precedent, though, for that not actually having to do always with how good of a player a guy was.
Correct.
Yeah.
But overall,
like in my opinion, though, I think K-Rod's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I disagree.
You don't think so, Scott?
Now, to be fair, not to be fair, to air my biases, he was absolutely putrid as a Detroit Tiger. So like he could go pound sand for all I care. But he actually had one like decent year. I'm being way too dramatic, but no, I think in my eyes, like the first ballot, like for reliever, like it's. I don't know, like reliever's so tough, man. Like that's such a tough.
He's in our lifetimes. I'm gonna say just retired closers, because like we could have this conversation about guys that are active. Of guys that are retired, though, he's the third best closer of our lifetime. Is he not? Like Hoffman, Mo, K-Rod, in whatever order you want to put that in. That wasn't in order. I just meant.
I mean, so we're talking. Like whole career, right? Not because the other thing with relievers,
K-Rod's peak was also nuts.
Yeah, but the other thing is with relievers is you get guys that are in and out.
Peak was nuts.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
You get guys that are in and out with better peaks. Eric Gagne probably had a better peak.
Eric Gagne has like maybe the
Eric
greatest
Gagne
peak
has
a reliever has
almost
ever had.
Okay,
Uh,
that goes to Wade Davis, but sure.
All right. I mean,
no.
like he definitely was.
So I will say though,
about
like K-Rod has like 25 WAR or something like that as a closer. Like that's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
And like not this isn't to say, you know, he doesn't have the save numbers, but like Wagner needs to be in the Hall of Fame like yesterday.
I agree. Same thing.
It's insane that
Yeah.
I think the using
Right.
10 votes thing just accelerates that by a couple years, 2-3 years. And
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
I think it cleans the ballot out, and it'll give those guys like. I think Larry Walker making the Hall of Fame is such a perfect example of like there are guys that if you
Chapman is imploding. We have two men on bases. We have 2 men on and full count right now.
He's at
to Rob
once
Rev
Chapman
Schneider.
starts throwing a slider this frequently, like you know he's cooked, and he's at 30.
He just bounced 101 on the plate.
Yeah, like
Oh, and here's Fenway, the Fenway faithful standing.
Yeah, I mean,
For
I think
former Yankees prospect Rob Rev Schneider.
The take on the
And he
Hall of
walked him.
Fame has to be. It just has to be like, yes, it is, you know, the small nature, the exclusive nature of the Baseball Hall of Fame can make it the prestigious honor that it is in sports.
mm-hmm.
We are still so far off actually representing the greatest players of
I agree.
their time.
It's a museum, and like the biggest thing to change that is just growing up and letting Barry Bonds in the Hall of Fame. And
yeah,
I mean, I think
like it is a literal museum that's supposed to highlight the history of Major League Baseball. And currently, you don't have the greatest player to ever, or I mean, objectively the greatest hitter. Well, I guess if you think, you know, player, whatever. But in a lot of people's eyes, the greatest player of all time is literally not in a museum like that's supposed to just be about the history of Major League Baseball. Like that's blasphemy.
Yeah.
And
so not even
the
is he
first,
not
like that's the first, you know, like you said, like that's very much a first step. And
yeah,
honestly, I don't give a damn about Pete Rose. I'll go on air. I don't even care if he ever makes it. But but like it's just there. There's a lot of, and like we talk about this every single year when the Hall of Fame comes around. There's a lot of stuff that voters are really weird about that just doesn't make sense to me. But
yeah.
So you know, there's the overarching debate in the Hall of Fame comes down to small hall versus big hall, and
right.
You know, maybe forgive me for not having a better example, but it's almost like it's like it's almost like an American politics compared to the rest of the world. Like we're so focused on the small hall that we are far off from accurately, you know, like the idea of American politics, right? Like everything is shifted so far right that what seems left is still right.
It's
like,
still right. I see what you're.
The argument I'm making for baseball is we're so shifted towards the small hall that what seems like big hall is actually still small hall.
And that's why I said
no,
I think
I
medium I'm fine with. Like you know, I just I don't know. Like there's just there's the issue is like there are just positions that are, you know, so unfairly. I mean, it's like it's closer, it's catcher, and it's third base that just like don't get the respect that they should in terms.
Third base is actually crazy. It's crazy how many like really damn good third basemen just got like absolutely wiped off the ballot in like no time at all.
I mean, like,
I think it's going to be. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I'll just say like Rudy, like go look at like Aramis Ramirez career. Like
facts, we did that.
Yeah,
was that us three that did that?
I think it was the three of us. Like
Diego.
that's the example that I go to is like because like obviously like the billboard example is Scott Rowland, and I'm a Cardinals fan, so like I got to watch him in his peak, and like but like that's the example where it's like anyone with like two sets of working eyes, like how is this guy not in the Hall of Fame? Correct, but to your example, really like a medium Hall of Fame, Ramis Ramirez.
Ramirez might be like he had the peak and like a long
I think if
peak, but like
if you're including small in the word at all. Like if you're saying medium, Aramis Ramirez is out in my book.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think he's like a big haul only kind of guy. But still, like the sentiment you're going for is still very much real. I think, and like you said, Roland is like the example. Like Scott Roland is the
He's a top 10 third baseman of all time in a game that is 150 years old.
Correct.
Yep.
Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, 100% deserves to be in.
Well, so
It
you know
has
what's
for a while.
interesting? In I was just talking about the Baseball 100 that I'm reading, and in Adrian Beltre's section, he goes through his top 5 third base seasons of all time, and he has
top 5 third base seasons.
Yeah,
of individuals or like just a position? As
individual seasons.
Oh, okay.
2 of his 5 were 1980. George Brett and Mike Schmidt.
Right.
Yeah, dude. Mike Schmidt was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think it was
Schmidt
okay. George Brett had 9.5 WAR in 117 games.
Oh my god, dude.
Golly. Yeah, that's whack.
So I saw a really funny graphic, and amazingly, it was not a Cardinals broadcast that put this up, because when I first saw it on Twitter, I was like, that's like a real selective. I was like, I don't know about that one. Because it was like looking at Mike Schmidt versus Paul Goldschmidt, like through age 34 season. And it was just like, extra base hits, like home runs, like, just like to show like, oh, look, basically these guys have been like consistently an all-star for like.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm like, that graphic conveniently like leaves out that Mike Schmidt played like the best third base you've ever seen.
Right. Yeah.
Like outside of Brooks Robinson. And he did that for like 20 years. I'm like, we're leaving out a very big part of what made Mike Schmidt like that good.
Yeah, well, his entire discussion of Beltre I thought was really pretty interesting, but
he's so I'm gonna give a take. I think Adrian Beltre is underrated as a player all time.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it's wild. It's wild to me.
Yeah. So here's his top 5 candidates. He says for greatest third base season ever. Al Rosen in 1953 lost the Triple Crown by 1 batting average point. 1980 George Brett, who, by the way, also had 118 RBI in 117 games.
Garrett in chat does say he's not impressed by that because the best ability is availability. So he does make a point. He is
an Anthony Rendon hater. So
well. 1980 Mike Schmidt led the league in homers, RBI, total bases.
Yeah. Cash
2007 A-Rod, 1067 OPS, and 54 homers, 156 RBIs. And then 2004 Beltre.
Oh, DJ LeMahieu does it for the second time in an inning.
No way.
Oh my gosh.
Stop letting him try.
And the Red Sox have the lead. They do get an out because obviously that's tough to base run. That's a tough base running play. So they do get a force out at second.
You know what's awesome is
the crazier part is I don't know if that one. Oh, he still called off center field, but like
that's what I'm saying. Stop it. What is?
But like, I mean that's a hell of a hike too. Like that might have just been like SOL.
Hicks is there though. Look how he's jogging it. So is Judge. They're both there.
Oh my, yeah.
The fact that happened twice.
Someone makes that catch
is crazy.
Someone not named DJ LeMahieu makes that catch.
Just keep hitting pop-ups over his shoulder, man.
No kidding.
Could put me out there, dude, for the Red Sox. I'd come up with a clutch knock. All I gotta do is bloop one behind DJ LeMahieu.
Yeah, you're striking out on 3 pitches. Okay, Rudy.
So anyway,
both of you to assume I might not even get the swing off, Scott. All right, I might luck into a ball just because straight up my response time wouldn't be fast enough. Like, oh wow, that was 98. And like, that's ball 1. Great. If I actually let me ask you guys this. Let's say you guys get a major league at bat. If I took ball 1, like I got to a 1-0 count, I straight up might just retire on the spot because I got ahead in a major league count. I'd be I'm setting it down. And I'm walking.
If I go, I'm definitely not swinging at the first pitch, and if it's a ball, you could not pay me to swing the rest of the at bat.
Yeah.
I'm going. All right. Well, I'm taking my chances. He clearly is, for some reason, not just throwing it right down the middle. So I guess we'll just like see if this works out.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
Rudy.
So yeah, 2004 Beltray, 1017 OPS, 48 bombs, 9.5 WAR. I thought it was remarkable that George Brett and Mike Schmidt had those best seasons in the same year. That was probably also Roland's best year.
Yes.
He had 9.2 WAR.
Yeah.
Jeez, man.
So 2004 was the year that MV3 was born for the Cardinals, because that was the year that that was the year that Jim Edmonds, Scott Rowland, and Albert Pujols all had like at least 7.5 WAR.
Edmonds was 7.2, was the lowest of the bunch.
Okay, yeah. So I think it was at least 7 WAR. Like which because there's been discussion on Cardinals Twitter is like, is that going to happen again with, the 3 names you definitely would have thought of: Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado, Tommy Edmonds somehow. Like, he's on pace for us to do that again for like the first time. And everyone was like, LMAO, like, yeah, dude, MV3 is back. It's 2 surefire Hall of Famers and then a 5'9" Stanford grad. It's the third guy in that ring there. This Scott Rowland B-ref, dude. Unreal.
Chapman is finally done with this inning. Golly.
Can we talk about how 2010 Scotty Rowland, after a couple subpar years, not even subpar, I should say, 2009 was fine, managed an 850 OPS, just turned back the clock for the Reds. Heck of a year.
Heck of a year.
Okay, I do actually. I wanted to pull at least one story from this book for tonight too, just because I've really enjoyed some of the anecdotes in here. So this is from Warren Spahn's section. First of all, Warren Spahn had Casey Stengel as a manager both in 1942 and 1965, and
That's awesome.
His famous quote was, "I pitched for Casey Stengel before and after he was a genius."
That's so good, man. That's phenomenal.
So anyway, Stengel gets called up. He's 20 or 21, and he's pitching to Pee Wee Reese. Spahn. This is Spahn is pitching to Pee Wee Reese. Yeah. Stengel calls for him to go for his head because he got his skull broke getting hit in the head by a pitch. So he wants him to throw 2 pitches at his head. Well, Spahn didn't really do that, so he threw 2 like kind of shoulder level. So he tells the story that then Stengel comes out and says, "You're out of the game, and there's going to be a bus ticket back to Hartford AAA. You're never going to make it in the major leagues because you got no guts." Details aside,
he said, "You do not have that dog in you."
Details aside, the story is wonderful because whenever Spahn told it, he would linger for a second on the part where Stengel said he had no guts, and then he would continue with this line. "So anyway, after I won the Bronze Star at the Battle of the Bulge."
Wow. You do have that dog in you. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I'm gonna say anyone that killed Nazis has that dog in them. That's all I gotta say.
That's so crazy. What an incredible way to tell that story, man. What a guy.
That's awesome, man. That's such a good
man. The other thing that was crazy from that Warren Spahn section, and this is the thing too, like Warren Spahn pitched 40s and 50s. I knew nothing about his career, could have recognized his name. Okay. And there's just this phenomenal, like, I come away with it with such an appreciation for him.
Well, everyone, I think most baseball fans that are inclined to watch our streams know the famous phrase. That's what I think most people know with Warren Spahn.
The poem Spahn Insane.
Yeah, Pray for Rain. Yeah,
because that was in here too. And those 2 guys started 15 of the Braves' last 22 games that season.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Dude, I'm sorry. This is like the only real, like, legitimate, like, and the Dave Steve Secret Base documentary really highlighted this. You go back and just look at these B-refs, like, he faced in 1949, right? 302 innings, faced 1,258 batters. Like, just going out and just like, I'm gonna pitch the whole game. That's just what's it's what's gonna happen. Yeah.
Jeez.
Like, that's what I'm gonna go out and throw. I'm gonna throw 300 innings of like 3 ERA ball.
So one of the I know for a fact I've talked about him on here before. But Mark Fidrich is like like the greatest like what if in Tigers history, like runner up for Cy Young as a rookie. And then literally pitched the next season. He was healthy for the first half, made the All-Star game, didn't pitch all in the second half. And then in his third year, he made like 2 starts and then was literally done. Like he had a healthy season and a half and was one of the most dominant pitchers in all of baseball for that season and a half as a rookie. And then that was it. If you are like, like I wonder why his arm blew out. Look at Mark Fidrich's like innings and batters faced. And this is the 70s. Like it's not, this isn't like the 30s and 40s. Like we have, some semblance of like people are starting to use late inning relievers. Like there were and that's not to say, it certainly wasn't as modern as it is now. But I mean, still 50 years ago, but his innings number in his rookie year, he was a rookie.
For a rookie,
his innings number is insanity. Yeah.
That's a lot because for a rookie, because I'm like, you can go back to like 2010 and still find seasons like that, but that's like Roy Halladay,
Right, yeah. Yeah.
That's nuts as a rook to throw that. Oh my god.
Yeah, 250. Yeah. That's up there.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, he was a dog, man. And then that's a whole different like branch because he would have been like late 20s on the 84 team that had the best record in baseball from opening day till they won the World Series. And like you had like 28-year-old.
This is Scott's
Mark
5D
Fidrich
chess with time travel here. This is
dude.
That's what I like to call a callback.
So right. Man, like what would have been, man? 87 as well. Like that we made the ALCS. He would have been like 32. Ugh.
Whoever this is for Boston's got some frisbees in their arsenal.
Man, I'd better see John Schreiber pitch tonight.
Careful, John Principe is about to magically appear in the Twitch chat just because you mentioned his name.
He's a Tigers legend. We taught him everything he knows.
Can't wait for Anthony Rizzo to hit 400 next year for the Yankees when they ban the shift. That's going to go crazy. Do you guys think Luis Arias can hit 400? Because actually, let me ask you this. Because I'm going to ask you guys to exclude like career accomplishments. Like no one is going to ever beat the all-time like career pitching wins record. That's never ever
5'11".
Yeah.
I think it's 5'11". Yeah.
Scott's real height.
Still, what, 2 inches on you? What? Grow up. What?
That's still 4 inches on Carson.
Yeah. Wait. What?
Yeah. You.
Oh, sorry. He's 5'8".
Yeah. Come on now. For the brand, I'm 5'8". No, I'm playing. I'm 5'8". No. I want to ask like single season. What are records you guys will think will never get broken? Because like
I love that conversation. There's a few.
Because
I feel like it's all of them. Like
that. See, like that is like the thing is when you're I love like what single game season career any of them. Like
yeah,
I think it was John Boyce in one of his
shout out.
Well, yeah, the dog. One of his videos pointed out the fact that like baseball's at a point where it's been around for so long that like you're starting to reach the limits of like what is just gonna be humanly possible. And like so there will be some records that are broken by like 1 or 2 or like barely broken, but I'm not sure we'll ever see a Major League Baseball record that's like absolutely shattered like ever again. Like I think that's probably like come and gone. And there's still like basketball is not there. Like the 3-point line is only like 40 years old, right? So like Steph Curry is going to have the most threes ever by like 200. Like there, you know what I mean? Like every other sport is still developing to an not developing, but like has still added new things or is still just like not 150 years old. And so there's still some records for all other sports that are possible to be like, wow, like that was absolutely shattered. In baseball, I'm just like not sure that's like ever gonna be
I think
again.
I would very confidently say there will never be a single season counting record broken again.
Yeah, and then like that's it's feasible. Like the only one
I
don't know. I really don't know. Like hits because that's an Ichiro record, right?
Hits
like
could
maybe
be.
hits.
Hits that's one or two. Yeah.
Well, so definitely on the pitching side, there will never again be a single season counting record broken.
I think that's a reasonable take.
Because you're going to see guys that are better, but you're never going to see guys that pitch as much.
What's the single season strikeout record?
Oh, dude, it's like 400.
That's never getting broken.
Yeah,
it's like 400. Like, that's
you're never gonna get that. You're never gonna get
single season wins. I mean, you don't even come close to seeing the same number of wins.
Yeah, because that's gonna be like 50. Like, there's no way that's happening.
Saves maybe.
Saves. Think about like
I think
is saves no,
but I think isn't K-Rod? He has 62 one year.
Okay, I think no. I think K-Rod has the record and Gagne had the streak, but it was across 2 seasons. So
right.
I think I think you're right.
I would say all of this,
single season batter walks,
all of this record potential is, I think, getting harmed at the expense of an analytical approach to winning that does not prioritize. Like, you're not going to see the single season saves record being broken because teams are shifting away from a traditional closer.
Right.
Yes, but okay, so here's my thought process on that, right? Like there's going to be a team that is in a spot like the Orioles, right? Where like the Orioles, they're almost 500. They're having a surprisingly nice like first half. Like I love there are some, most of the time those teams sign, some guy with closing experience that they then flip at the deadline.
And they're never going to win enough games for a guy to get 65, 70 saves.
Right.
But if they're only going to win 75 games, a guy could get 63 saves. Like
that's a lot of save situations.
If they're a bad team, they're not scoring a lot of runs. They're in a lot more close games.
I mean, how many?
That's like 80% of your wins being in 3-run games, though. I mean, that's crazy.
When K-Rod broke the record, what was the percentage?
I don't even know where to find that. But
I can't imagine that teams really ever have that high proportion of their wins be save situations. It just won't happen.
Weren't the Angels like incredible that year? Wasn't that like damn near 100-win team? No.
That's why I'm getting to it.
I'm pretty sure that was like the late 2000s Angels that were like they were consistently winning like 95 to 100 games.
That sounds like a lie. They did win
not to mention if you're winning 75 games, are those, even if you have 65 save situations, which is a ton for 75 wins,
right.
Are
they going to be spaced out such that your closer can actually pitch in every single one?
I'm just saying, like, because I think we guys said earlier,
manager is going to allow that.
I think there'll be records that it's 1 or 2, and like that's where I could see it.
Aaron Boone got tossed during the commercial break.
I think there were some terrible strikes called too.
Yeah, he got tossed because he said, "You're effing horrible. That was ball 6."
Oh wow, yeah.
That was ball 6.
Oh, and then he gets up in his grill after he gets tossed and gets his money's worth.
Love it. Woo.
Wow, yeah, he went crazy there. That was really aggressive.
Does that make our
Anthony Rizzo can't scoop a ball. Good thing the Cubs didn't re-sign him.
Facts.
Clip that.
Yeah, clip. Post on Twitter immediately. Tag Rudy.
Dude, my Twitter's a graveyard at this point. I don't care.
Man, bring back the Rudy saxophone playing days, man.
That's what I'm saying.
I got to bring back Rudy playing the saxophone.
Fair enough. So I just think that the only way I see the saves record being, because like that wasn't that long ago, you know what I mean? But like baseball has changed so much in the last just like 7 years.
See,
Could
this
Josh,
is the thing,
could Josh Hader do it for the Brewers?
No,
Because he's the guy for them in the ninth, even though because they have Devin Williams. They have a guy that they can deploy. They're like a 1A, 1B, but they always put Hader in the ninth.
So yeah, I don't know. Here's my thing, and I think we've been dancing around this closer discussion all night, talking about relievers in the Hall of Fame, and now this. The closer, like just in general, relief pitchers and closers are going to be. It's going to be a very dynamic position to analyze for a long time because the closer is like, what's that?
I said it's something that's discussed for the baseball, like I think for the rest of our lives because how much it is developed.
Especially once you get, and Rudy, I don't mean to like not let you finish, but like especially when you get to the point where again, like saves numbers are going to start going down because people are a little more analytically inclined. Like eventually in our lifetimes, there's going to be a dude that like doesn't even have that many saves. Like he's, you know what I mean? Like he's not like the perennial ninth inning guy, but he's going to have like some of the most insane reliever numbers ever and going to be a Hall of Famer because he's going to put up 30 WAR out of the bullpen, but have like 90 career saves because he was like, oh, he was the like first out of the bullpen guy for this team for his whole career, or he was the like highest leverage, but not necessarily the ninth inning guy. Like there's going to be like those guys are going to start emerging and like, you know, on the ballot in like 20-ish years too. It's going to be a very interesting development as baseball continues to, you know, change.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like the closer role came very quickly into the like the 80s and 90s.
Hall of Fame baseball person invented it.
Yep. I would say it peaked in the 2000s, maybe early 2010s.
I would say the mid 2000s, honestly,
mid 2000s for sure.
When it hit its absolute stride, you know,
that was Gagne,
K-Rod, Hoffman, Mo. Yes, yeah, bro. That was everybody, dude.
And that's when the saves record was set, right? Was that
correct? Yeah, that was when K-Rod set his and when Gagne went on his streak. Yes,
yeah, was mid 2000s. So. Right. So then it peaked. And now I would say the closer role is already on its way back down. So relief pitching is still evolving, but the closer
relief pitching is growing. But yes, closer role, like you are the ninth inning guy no matter what, that is already devolving again. Yeah. Or evolving past just getting the ninth.
So I think it's impossible then that any relief pitcher is so prevalent that he even gets 60 save opportunities in a season again.
Right.
I don't think
it's going to be, and again, it would take a team being like 100 win plus good, and it would take.
I mean, like, what's the most?
Well, like that's the thing. Like, you're talking about a team in 2022. Is there a team that could win 108 games but only have like one really good reliever? Like, no. Right,
so
like, here's not how baseball's played either. So, like,
here's the question: like, what is the most save situations Craig Kimbrell has seen in a season?
I guess like 60.
Oh wow! I would say, yeah, maybe like
in the neck of the woods of 60
at the end of the Braves days, maybe like.
Or the year he was on the Padres, because that was the explicit reason they traded for him.
Yeah, I would say like mid 50s.
Does Baseball Reference give save opportunities as a
stat? I just like kind of Frankenstein the math of like how many saves did this player have versus,
or did they show blown saves maybe?
Yeah. I kind of just. Scott, I just you and I
just
did
do wins and losses.
You and I just did the like 2000s closer Mambo number 5 for a second.
Yeah, we did.
A little bit of Hoffman in my life, a little bit of Mo in the 9th, a little bit of copyright. That's a decent parody.
I mean, like the most. Pitching for the 2018 Red Sox, who won 108 games, and he's still peak prime Craig Kimbrell at this point. He got 42 saves. He's 2/3 of the way to the record.
That's because of their offense. Like, I guess the question we need to ask ourselves is there going to be a team that can win that much, but that will have that many high leverage situations? Because
even
a lot of the times those teams are winning a lot of blowouts.
You don't even have to look at save opportunities. These like
Oh yeah,
Kimbrel's not even consistently hitting 60 games finished.
You're
Nonetheless,
right.
save opportunities. I mean,
His highest games finished is 64 in his
he
career.
led baseball in 2011 with 64. He led baseball. He's hit 60 two times.
Twice.
And that's just games finished. And those years he had 46 and 42 saves, and I don't think he blew 20 saves. So like, you know what I mean? Like even those, like I just don't think you're ever seeing that ever again.
Yeah, no, it's not.
And if you do, it's going to be like that, where it's 65 games finished, but 49 save opportunities, 50 save.
Can I ask you guys just because obviously we all work here, and so we all have that sort of I think we're all fairly analytically inclined. Is what's like the one part of the game that you like objectively know is like not necessarily the best for analytics that like if you could bring back you would?
Pitchers going deep into games is objectively the right answer. I don't even care.
Yep.
There is nothing like that. And look, I completely understand. And I support like it is third time through the lineup. Every starter ever, their numbers go down. Like it's objectively true, and like the game is evolving, and we just did a whole thing about relievers, but like Trevor Story. Trevor Story off the green monster with the bases loaded.
John's narrative's crumbling before his very eyes.
I think he's still a sub 100 OPS plus.
There's
that
no
will
way.
Score 2 runs. He was literally like 96 going into the game. That's his first hit of the night.
That's his second hit of the night. I thought he had another one earlier. Am I wrong?
Oh, you might be right. So he might be like at 100. Regardless, the
Tommy Edmond 100 WRC plus flirting. Trevor Story 100 WRC plus harassment.
Correct. So like for me, like there is, especially like growing up watching Justin Verlander once every fifth day my entire life. Like there is like I love a good bullpen. I love the Tigers bullpen this year. I love the relievers in it. It's part of the strategy. It's I agree with the numbers and what they say, and that they shouldn't be going in to face the lineup for the third or fourth time. But there is nothing more exciting than watching a dude on his like 98th pitch in the 8th inning, or
Correct.
like 107th pitch in the 8th. He's given up 1 run. He has like 6 Ks, and he's just like trying to just dog out another inning. Like
I'll go a step further. All right, there's nothing better, in my opinion, if it's 4-2, bottom of the 8th. He's got 2 runners on. He's on pitch 130. That's do you have that dog in you? Like, are you gonna get out of that jam? Are you gonna get that inning-ending ground ball and walk off the field? Is that what you're about to do? Like, that's why Sandy is my favorite pitcher to watch in all of baseball.
Dude, right? Yeah, I do not miss the Sandy start, man.
He is a machine. He's so efficient, and like he is what I miss more than anything. I love a starting. I want a starting pitcher that can go. Like, to me, like, you're not that guy if you can't go 180 innings in a year. Like, you're not that guy. Like, I understand that it's maybe not the best thing, but like Sandy's going to throw like 209 innings this year and is probably going to win Cy Young, and it's going to kick so much ass.
Yeah, that is definitely my answer. Is like complete game shutouts. Oh, I used to
honestly,
love a good
not even that. I'd argue a complete game too. Even
that's
awesome.
For real,
given that you can lead the league with 2 these days.
Yeah,
right.
Adam Wainwright led the league last year with 4, and like.
Yeah, that's definitely my answer, 100%. It's so fun.
My other answer to that is the like 695 OPS leadoff hitter that has like 45.
No, I don't miss
awesome.
that. Screw Alcides Escobar forever. No, I do not miss that whatsoever. The Royals can go F themselves, and so can those leadoff hitters.
Well, Scott, I'm really sorry, but I've pulled up one more example to drive my point home about the closer discussion we were just having, and I think it's actually the best example given the argument that Carson was making. Because Carson's talking about you want a team that wins enough games but doesn't have the offense to overpower and has a de facto closer. 2014 Royals, Greg Holland.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
And he had 60 games finished.
What are
46
the Yankees
saves.
doing?
Scott, to be clear, by the way, the person I had in mind when I made that statement was like a Juan Pierre.
I mean, I love Juan Pierre.
700 OPS, 45 swipes a year. Just like get out there
Juan
and go
had
run.
some like decent offensive seasons, though. No,
I mean, I don't
Let's
know,
see.
but I there's no way his career OPS is any higher than like 715. I guarantee it.
man. See, I thought he was a better hitter than that. I thought peak
His
Juan
career
Pierre was
OPS
for that.
is 704.
Wow.
That's the guy I had in my mind.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, the Yankees are just imploding.
Yeah, this on national television is phenomenal. Like finally,
It's
the Yankees
hilarious just because they've destroyed everyone all year, and then they get a nationally televised game, and it's this.
I'm just glad a small market team like the Yankees is getting the national. They're having such a nice year. They're getting the media attention they deserve.
Yeah, man.
That was like Juan Pierre is the guy that I had in my head. Those type of just. Like, do you remember, like, even, like, 4 or 5 years ago when Malik Smith for Tampa Bay had, like, 45 steals? That was awesome.
That's another, like, again, when we're talking about, like, good night, Peyton.
Wow, that's one of the
Night,
first
Peyton.
times
Night,
I was
man.
about to say Night Peyton, like, unironically.
When you're talking about, like, records that won't be broken, like, there's no way anyone will ever beat a Ricky Henderson stolen base record.
I agree, yeah.
Like, that's
What's
just
the
not
streak
going to
for
happen.
consecutive successful stolen bases, though?
That is Quentin Berry. Actually, I
the
think it
number
was.
is?
I think it was like 17 or 20. No, it was 20. It
Okay.
was around 20.
That
But
I can wrap my head around.
I genuinely think that it was Quentin Berry when it happened in 2013, and I genuinely think it's maybe been broken in the last couple of years.
Because that to me is a record I could see being broken only because, like, if you got a guy that, like Albert Pujols had a streak that, like, ended this year that he had, like, 17 consecutive stolen bases because of just, like, they don't think he's going to run and just catches them napping. And he just – I think that we could see, like, a rookie like who's that Sopranos extra the Royals just called up? Rudy, what's that guy's
Vinny
name?
Pasquantino. No, he's slow as shit.
That's what I mean.
He's
Like,
way too slow. No.
Like, he could maybe fall into 2 successful stolen
No.
bases a
But
year,
the
and
Royals are
10
going to make
years-
him run in stupid situations, though.
Oh,
It's the
yeah, because
Royals.
you guys have a terrible manager. I forgot. That's, yeah.
A lot of things, in fact.
Yeah. Well, problem starts with the head, the head honcho, the manager. You got to get him out of there.
Yeah, it's interesting. People are actually kind of starting to draw similarities between what's people have wrong with or what things that people take issue with Matheny now and what he supposedly people took issue with in his end of his Cardinals days.
Yeah,
clubhouse vibe is always tense. He favors veterans too heavily.
Yep.
Just for the record, really quickly, consecutive stolen base leaders is 50, and that's not. I don't think that's being broken.
Never mind.
Quentin Berry's was to start a career, which was 20.
Oh, okay.
But Vince Coleman had 50 consecutive
That's the
successful
dog.
stolen base attempts from September 16th, 1988 to July 26th, 1989.
That is the
Ichiro
dog.
Suzuki second with 45, by the way.
Wow.
And then Tim
I
Raines
will say,
third.
Julio Rodriguez, wasn't he like 14 for his first 14? Like, he had a nice little run. to start.
Probably.
Yeah, I think
He's-
so.
I think it's easy
he's-
to forget about his speed. Well, it's not easy to forget now because he's really showing it, but
Yeah, all the scouts are like, every scouting report was like, if he had elite speed, he'd probably be the number 1 overall prospect. He's like, watch me go blazing red on this Savant page, dude. That throw
Yeah, dude,
he had,
Ricky
by the way,
Henderson
a
is
couple
literally
games
just at
ago,
the
did you
top
see
of
that
all
in
of these.
center?
Yeah, dude, that was a rock.
99.6. It was a hose.
man, I love outfield assists.
Single season leaders. What? Okay, there have been 4 players in the history of Major League Baseball who have recorded a season in which they had 30 plus stolen bases on a 95% or better stolen base
I
percentage.
know one of them off the top of my head already. Starling Marte last year.
That is not a correct answer. There are 4
what?
people in Major League Baseball history. The most recent one was 2006. And 3 of them were between 94 and 06. The one of them is Max Carey in 1922. You were never getting that one. Who are the other 3?
94 and 06. So 94 is a strike year.
94, 01, and 06. I'll even give you the 3 years.
What percentage did you say, Scott?
94.
95% or better on 30-plus steals.
I think Marte had 90% last year, but he had like 47 steals on 90.3%. My bad.
94 wasn't Bonds, was it?
94 was not Bonds.
94. Ken Griffey?
No, he didn't run that much.
There's always people have those years, or just randomly.
One of them is on one of our teams.
Oh, Carlos Beltran.
Carlos Beltran is 2001.
2001.
Who had 31 stolen bases on 32 attempts.
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so then I already gave you Max Carey because that was in the 20s. Now you have 94 and 06.
Carl Crawford?
No, Carl Crawford.
He wasn't up there yet in 06, no? I mean, he was maybe a big leaguer, but he wasn't doing a stolen base thing.
Yeah, I think he was more of a 2010-ish.
Let me take a peek. At old Carl Crawford. What was his 2006?
Dude,
like?
Carl Crawford was the dog. I loved Carl Crawford as a
I have a Carl Crawford rookie card in my bedroom right now.
Carl Crawford in 2006 had 58 stolen bases and got caught 9 times.
Yeah, that's
all right. I was wrong. He was stealing bags.
That
but
is nutty.
That might be his most efficient year, actually, percentile wise.
So the 2 people left, neither of them ever played at any point in their career for any of our teams. That is the first hint I will give you.
Okay.
Who's stealing a lot of bags back in like the mid 2000s? Is it Juan Pierre?
It is not Juan Pierre.
If there's an era of baseball where I just know so much less than I probably should, it's the mid 90s.
Yeah, actually, I think me too. Jose Reyes, 2006.
No Jose Reyes. It's interesting because the mid 90s. Everyone knows the stolen base people or the home run people of the mid 90s, but everything else besides that is very overlooked. There are some really good pitchers that don't get their due diligence that pitched in the 90s. There are
Evan Apier.
There are a lot of really good baseball players that just didn't hit a lot of home runs that, if you weren't Tony Gwynn, nobody cared unless you were hitting homers. So there's a lot of people in the 90s that are overlooked because of that. I agree. I said no.
You know who's super underrated in the 90s as well, though? Is let me make sure I get this right.
Big Herb, baby. Go.
I mean, he made the Hall of Fame. Is he underrated in that sense? No, I'll just say Will Clark.
Will Clark. Shout out Will Clark. Wow, the win probability was at one point almost 90% Yankees.
Will Clark.
2006 Jimmy Rollins.
Ooh.
Not Jimmy Rollins. That's a very good guess, though. He is on this. I just have a page up of every stolen base record. And he is on one of them, but I can't find. It's a very.
I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess maybe his teammate Chase Utley.
No Chase Utley. I'll even give you the stolen bases. So 06 was 45 for 47, and the 94 barely makes this list. He was 31 for 32.
45 for 47.
45 for 47. Wow,
that's nuts.
We have already said this dude's name.
This
evening? We've already said.
No, not like you've guessed him and I said no. We talked about
earlier.
Earlier we talked about him.
This is the 06 guy.
Yes. The 94 guy I'm going to have to end up giving you because you're never getting it. But the 06 guy we've literally talked about in this stolen base conversation 10 minutes ago.
Well, I got a couple
for a different
obviously not Malik Smith. He's an elementary school. I have a couple guesses for mid 90s. Is it
Okay.
Kenny Lofton?
No Lofton.
A gentleman whose jersey I just purchased, Craig Biggio.
No Craig Biggio.
Um,
This guy, he might have been a teammate of Lofton for a year, not the year that he did this. This guy was a 3-time All-Star. I did not know that about him. Good for him, man. 3-time All-Star in 92, 96, and 97. Let me pull up his B-ref. I didn't know he was like that.
all right, Rudy, you stick with the if you stick with the mid 2000s. Let me work through my 90s knowledge here.
I feel like I've really been thrown for a loop by the fact that we named this guy 15 minutes ago, and I'm firing blanks.
I did not know that. This dude in the 90s had 35 career WAR, 315 career stolen bases. Had 53 stolen bases.
You said a teammate of Lofton's. Who's the Moneyball guy?
I'm
David
double
Justice?
checking that. He might have been gone by the time. Yep, he only played for Cleveland just in 2002, and Lofton had left by then. So unfortunately, not.
So it's not David Justice. Okay.
And it is also not David Justice. Correct.
Oh, David Justice. Yeah, that
was because he stole a decent amount of bases and stuff.
This dude played 15 years in Major League Baseball. 14 of them were for one team, and that's not Cleveland. The Cleveland was the only other team he played for there at the very end. So this guy, he's actually in the Hall of Fame of, you know how like people have team Hall of Fames? This guy is in the Hall of Fame for the team. He got 2 top 15 MVP finishes. I did not know he was like that until right now. Good for him.
2006.
2006, we literally said earlier in the conversation of was it single season stolen bases? No. Oh, for consecutive stolen base leaders, he was one of the names that I listed.
Oh.
It's not Vince Coleman, obviously.
Or Carlos.
The other ones.
Or what's his name? I forgot. I wasn't listening closely enough to that
conversation. I'm like zoning out trying to figure this out. I'm getting like I can feel my like radar it's closing in.
Oh no, it's not Juan Pierre. Carson said Juan Pierre.
Yeah,
this guy was also the 1994 guy. In 1996, he was in the home run derby. And he has a stolen base.
Another
record.
Matt Carpenter hit.
Another Matt Carpenter hit.
God. This is why we don't show the game on screen.
We spare you guys the pain.
Rudy's not going to be helpful though, and Scott can't tell me because that's you said his whole career. It's that random dude on the Orioles. It's the random dude on the Orioles. What's his name? It's like it's not Brian Anderson because that's the dude on the Marlins.
This
right
dude's
now.
jacked. This is actually crazy. He's like ripped.
Brady,
they got like
Brady Anderson.
They got pictures. It is in fact Orioles legend Brady Anderson.
I was about to say, Carson, if we don't get this soon, Scott's going to just keep looking at the information about this guy, and I'll have a new favorite ball player before we know it.
Yeah, man, this dude's Jack City. Golly, Brady Anderson is ripped. This
His last
should
game
be a model.
was against the Tigers.
Okay, so now I can't believe.
Holy smokes! Yeah, he is ripped.
Now,
Yeah, he's ripped,
now that I've got the old.
I am stunned that of all people that somehow the 06 guy should have been your first guess. I don't know what's happening with you too, but
me.
I don't know.
How is the 06 guy?
I guess Carl Crawford had like 60 that year, so I don't want to hear,
Well, congratulations. You want a cookie? Cool. That's not the
Yeah, I'm
question.
starving actually. I haven't had dinner. Yes, if you have some, I will gladly take some.
Golly.
Worst guy for stolen bases in the early mid. I'm thinking Jose Reyes would be my first guess always. BJ Upton?
I already said no. No, it's not. It's not an Upton brother. No. He literally actually just retired 3 years ago now, I guess. So just maybe isn't. But
I'm happy to have pulled Beltran.
yes, Beltran definitely. The stolen base attempts, so they go 31 for 32, 31 for 32, 51 for 53, and then 45 for 47 and 06. And that is the most recent person to do this.
It's a guy we should definitely have.
Yes, he is literally a that everyone should get if you even have ever watched baseball in your life. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, like a legend of the game. Yes.
Like Ichiro?
It is Ichiro Suzuki.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh,
Golly.
oh my gosh.
I didn't know he was running like that.
Oh yeah, dude.
He's what, early 30s by that point?
Yeah, he's probably like 31, 32 by then.
That was his age 32 season.
Yeah, because he was a rookie at 27. Yeah, that makes
At
sense.
36 years old, this dude was 42 for 51 on stolen bases. That's disgusting.
He's like that.
He is, yeah. I mean, you could convince. Like, I'm not surprised. I'm
like here again. Listen to like this goes back to our original point. Team stolen bases, the top 10 team stolen bases all time. Not a single one is after 1890.
Well, yeah, because stolen bases were like popular for like a bit again in the 80s, and then
yeah, just because of Ricky.
No, it's how the Cardinals went to 3 World Series. Their whole team philosophy was.
I understand.
Running.
I'm saying Ricky is the person that sparked the reinvention baseball wide. I'm not saying he was the only person that did it. I mean, okay, you can disagree if you want, but like that's kind of objectively like kind of a thing. But
I mean,
they were like, oh, a dude can steal 130 of these by himself. Maybe it helps if we steal more bases because he would walk and then be on third.
I just think it was the same time. It was the same time when he was a rook and stuff, is my point.
Okay, whatever. Fair enough.
Ichiro also followed that up 2 years later with a season of 43 stolen bases and 4 caught stealing.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah, he was unbelievable. Most stolen bases by a team in one season from 1901 to present is a whole separate list because the top 10 are all in the 1800s. The only 2 teams post 1912. One of them is the 85 Cardinals. The other one is the 76 Oakland Athletics, who have the second most ever since 1901.
Didn't they have the guy that didn't they sign that like Olympic track sprinter to like exclusively be a pinch runner and like steal bases for them? Was that year? They like literally had a guy that was
Terrence
like a
100 type beat.
Yeah, he was like 100-meter Olympic sprinter, and they were like, "Do you want to just exclusively pinch run and like steal?" And he like had some like decent years as a pinch runner. I mean, think. That's I'm blanking on the guy's name. Hold on.
Dude, I forgot Terrence Gore's the Chicago Cubs legend too.
Terrence Gore is the dog.
That's so funny. Is he still hanging it in the minors for the Braves?
I think I know he was at the start of the year. It's just a matter of whether he still is.
The guy's name was
Wait. That's actually Oh, never mind. Oh, okay, never mind.
So
I was gonna say, how did he not appear in the playoffs last year? He did appear in the playoffs. So
yeah. Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he had like a. Did he have a hit or something? Maybe he got a stolen base and everybody freaked out. But yeah, there was a night on Twitter and everybody's like, Terrence Gore, legend.
So Herb Washington in his career played in 105 games, had 0 plate appearances.
Yep.
And was 31 stolen bases and got caught 17 times. But
0 plate appearances. That is a true pinch run goat, baby.
that's awesome, dude. That's so sick. He played 92 games in 1974, scored 29 runs, had 29 stolen bases for the team.
That's the year they won the World Series.
I
They
believe
won
so,
the World
yes.
Series in 74.
76?
74. They
Yeah.
they
Didn't they
100%
back to
won
back
the
in
World Series.
75? Or no, that was the Reds in 75, right?
No,
Yeah.
well, no, the A's won like 100 and lost that year.
Yeah. Honestly, this may be one of the most upsetting things to me about the 2019 Royals, which there's a lot of them. But they gave Terrence Gore 58 plate appearances, which pretty much shoots in the foot any chance he has of retiring with more career stolen bases than plate appearances.
Man.
He had 58 plate appearances and 13 steals. If he plays out a full season, that is 130 stolen bases. Hypothetically.
Man, Ricky's numbers are ridiculous.
Actually, no, you know what?
That's you don't talk about underrated players like Ricky Henderson, like that dude had legitimate pop too.
Yeah.
Ricky Henderson, if you want to talk like people that like the game has never seen and may never see again, somebody who can change the game in more different like as many ways as he could. Like straight up, he would go like kind of like we were talking about with Riley Green earlier as like a stat stuffer. Like obviously Ricky's like I wasn't trying to compare the two, but
clip no.
Like he would like the A's would win like 3-2 and Ricky would go 0 for 2. And you're like, all right, like he went 0 for 2. Well, he had like 3 catches into the gap that had like a 90, like a 5% catch probability. He had 2 walks and he had 6 stolen bases and 2 runs scored. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's
Ricky Henderson's MVP year is one of the most statistically impressive seasons.
Ridiculous.
I'm just gonna give this
seriously ridiculous.
325, 439, 577.
With how many stolen bases?
65.
Yeah.
And he only got caught 10 times too. Like that's like a ratio. Like the percentiles, like if you're over 75%, you're like successful.
And 28 homers.
That is it. Yeah. That was what I was about to get to. Yeah, and an 87% success rate on stolen bases.
Will we ever see like he is comfortably the greatest leadoff hitter of all time? Will we ever see that like rivaled? Will anyone ever dethrone Ricky Henderson as the greatest leadoff hitter of all time?
I mean, how do you do it, right? Like you're never going to get anyone stealing 65 bags again. So you have to comfortably out-hit that slash line.
Well, even like 65 is also like he had 100 stolen base seasons. Like let's be clear.
Yeah.
Like he had like multiple 100 stolen base seasons. That was just like the one year.
So this is the thing.
Well, I mean, as a 21-year-old rook, he stole 100 and had an 820 OPS. Like
right. Yeah. Like how can that ever be? And you're a massive plus defender. Like how can that ever be?
It's crazy. Like the year he stole 130. The year after is way more impressive because he got caught 42 times the year he went for the record. Obviously,
Jesus.
Anytime he got on base, dude, it was
the year after he stole 108 and only got caught 19 times.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's disgusting.
My question about Ricky Henderson: how many other players had 12 seasons of 5 WAR or better?
Yeah, that's nuts, dude.
And he had another 4.8, and a lot of those seasons he's putting up 7, 8, 9, 10, not just 5.
We're talking, greatest players of all time. Like that's who's putting up. That's it.
Right.
Like
yeah, for sure. How many 2020 seasons did he have?
2020. It's just how many years did he hit 20 homers, which is
correct. Yeah,
4.
Yeah. Like even that.
Scott, you asked about like leadoff hitter that like. I'm not putting this on this rookie. I'm not what I'm about to say. I'm not about to put it on this rookie. But wait, what?
Ricky Henderson stole 66 bases at age 39. Like,
yeah, that's disgusting. But Scott, you're talking about a guy that can at least in terms of that, like a similar, like a modern day version of that stat line. Like Julio Rodriguez has kind of put himself of like, I think Julio could steal 45 bases and like have a similar because what's Henderson's career OPS?
I mean, like
800?
even if we don't want to go like, if we don't want to like put
Again, I'm not trying to
on,
put it
no,
on.
no,
but-
for sure. But if we want to go just like established players, I mean, Ronald Acuna is probably the closest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably the closest we have because like he was what a steal away from 40-40 in 2019.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whatever,
Yeah.
Like
I
damn
think
close to it.
I think he will have 40-40 in the next 2
like
3 years.
he's probably like the closest we have, and he's
Yeah.
nowhere close.
And by the way, if you were wondering how many 5-win or better seasons Barry Bonds has had, it's 17.
Yeah,
okay.
that sounds about right. Yeah.
Can you look up
The-
how
the
many like
craziest-
actually can you like Hank Aaron? How many like at least 5? Because that dude played forever.
Yeah, he did.
True.
The craziest the craziest Barry Bonds stat to me is he is the only person in Major League Baseball history in the 500-500 club, but he's also the only person in Major League Baseball history in the 400-400 club.
Yeah.
And there's only 4 members of the 300-300 club.
That's nuts.
Like only 4 people ever have 300-300, and he has 500-500.
Yeah, so Hank Aaron did at least 5 WAR for 17 consecutive years.
Oh my god, dude.
That is
And
ignorant.
and 18 total.
Oh my god, dude.
And by the way, in only 2 of those 17 years was he under 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
He's such a goat, dude. Oh my god.
Age 37. Wait. Hank Aaron's highest career WRC plus came at age 37.
Yeah, that's what makes Hank Aaron so impressive. Was like it was the longevity of it, of just like because correct me if I'm wrong, he never had a 50 homer season.
That is correct. I know that to be a
Yeah.
fact.
Like it's like if Nelson Cruz
He had
like
damn a lot of 40s, but yes.
that's
Yeah.
what I mean. That's what I mean. It's like if Nelson Cruz just like did it for 20 years straight.
Right, yeah.
Is what Hank Aaron did.
Yeah. No, yeah. And like that's the wild thing about seeing, you know, the people that are in that like whatever top 10, even top 20, maybe not as much top 20, but like the people that are in like the top 10 home run hitters of all time conversation,
Mm-hmm.
and seeing, you know, like the crazy peaks of like, oh, like for a little bit.
Oh
this guy
my
was
goodness.
hitting-
Sorry. DJ LeMahieu gets a little bit of good karma his way because that was
Yeah, it definitely was.
woo.
Sorry,
go ahead.
So, you know, you see like, oh, this dude peaked out. He was hitting like, you know, like 60 a year, or, you know, was hitting like 55 plus a year or whatever. Like Hank Aaron just like, no, I'm just going to hit like 43 every year of my career.
Correct. Yeah. Oh, and
Like,
triple
it's
and triple
crazy.
slash like 300, 400, 500 while I did
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
there's
straight up.
no Joey Gallo year in there for him. It's all
Only-
just
Only 3 players ever with what is it? 3K, 500 homers, 600 doubles. And it's Pujols, Miggy, and Hank.
yeah.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure Pujols and Hank have 600.
Yeah, Pujols tied Musial today for 3rd most extra base hits of all time.
Yeah.
You want to talk about favorite stats of all time? The Stan Musial stat is my favorite of all time. Stan Musial has I want to make sure I get this.
Oh, records that will never be broken, by the way. Cal Ripken.
Yeah. Whit Merrifield, man. We got taken out today.
Yeah, but he still started.
No dog in him.
That's one that I'm very confident will never be broken.
Stan Musial has
Yeah, no
3,630 career hits. Would you guys like to know his home and road split for that total?
Yes.
1,815
way.
at home and 1,815 on the road.
Oh, that's crazy.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Cal Ripken Jr.'s the Ironman record, I think is not going
Never
anywhere
going.
fast. And then honestly, like hitting streak record, I just don't see how that's even possible these days. Like pitching has never been better and walks have never been more glorified. Like I just don't see how
That's why
you know what I
Evan
mean?
in
I just
the
don't
chat
think-
earlier
and
said
strikeouts have never been
single
more
season
apparent.
walk record for a batter, which I
See,
think,
but there's no way. That's Barry Bonds has like 200 and something. Like
Right,
that's not
which
happening.
right, but
Yeah, I
single
mean, when you
season-
give him 120 for free, it's not.
Yeah, but even if you take those out, he had over 100. Like it's like
Yeah.
Like
Right.
that's definitely not happening. There's no way that that's happening.
100 walks? Oh, yeah, I could have 100
No.
walks.
I meant including the intentional.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's no way that Bonds' single season walk record is ever being broken. And yeah, I don't see
his single season OPS. I don't think is going to get touched either.
Yeah, that would what 1250 or whatever. Yeah.
No, it's over 1400.
Yeah, it's
Oh well,
1400.
the walk year. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
The fact that he still slugged 800.
Yeah.
Well,
because
John
if he touched
Boyes,
the ball, he hit it 500 feet.
John Boyes did the what was his OBP be without a bat in 04? And it was still 600.
Yeah,
exactly the same. Like,
yeah, or I think it went up one or something. Like I think it literally went up one.
You know what? I'm gonna go watch that video right now,
dude. It's one of my favorites.
That's homework. That's homework for everybody tonight.
But yeah, that like there are like I don't see the hit streak,
dude,
which is how baseball's played today.
It's funny because you never hear like counting stats wise, his 2002 season doesn't quite compare to any other season. He had a 244 WRC plus in 2002.
Oh my god, bro.
12.7 WAR. That was his best year of his career, and you don't hear about it because it wasn't a record year. Like
that's actually another. Is single season batter WAR. Like that's another one's not getting touched because I'm pretty sure it's like 15.
Well,
it's
also
something
like
disgusting.
Like pitcher WAR is never happening either because the dudes that pitched in 70 games had like, oh yeah, like this is old Haas like Rad Farm and he has like 45 WAR this season because he appeared in 70. He started 70 games.
Yeah, I don't want that. Hold on.
Yeah, what's the most WAR that Cy Young ever had in a season?
I was gonna say that's gonna be like 20. Like actually,
no, not by Fangraphs. Although Fangraphs can.
Use BREF because we're talking about how nutty the numbers are. We got to go big here.
Yeah.
For example, Bob Gibson in 1968 had 11.2 WAR.
Yep.
Okay.
Bob Gibson from
in the World Series. That's so crazy.
That's crazy. I don't care. Bob
1890
probably should.
1892 Cy Young pitched 453 innings at 13.9 WAR.
Hell yeah!
Oh my god, dude!
Hell yeah!
Like, what do you do with that?
He cracked 10 WAR 5 times in his career.
Bob Gibson from 68 through 70 had 31 WAR as a pitcher. Oh, that's never getting done again.
And he got outpitched in the 68 World Series.
Yeah, he has 2 rings, so I don't think he's crying over it, dog.
I never said he was crying over. I just thought it was an interesting factoid that even given all that, he was outpitched in the 68 World Series.
Who else is a guy that just has gaudy? I'm trying to think of like gaudy single season pitching WAR.
Steve Carlton.
Oh, it is Old Hoss Radbourn at 19.2. 1884.
Read me the line. Yo.
Bang. Bang.
He's got every dog.
He has that dog in him.
He's got an Iditarod sled racing.
Carson, I don't know about 30 pitching WAR in 3 years. Old Hoss Radbourn did 32 in 2 years.
Yo.
Bob Gibson, get out of my face.
Who? Bob Gibson who?
Bob Gibson who?
Old Hoss.
In 2 years, Old Hoss pitched over 1,300 innings.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go.
Let's see. His 1884, he won 60 games.
Yep.
With a 1.38 ERA.
King.
678 and 2/3 innings pitched.
What was the K for
2,672 batters faced.
I would like to know the K per 9. Is it over 3?
5.8.
Oh,
he's fanning him down.
That's the GOAT.
That's like 15. That's like 15 today.
That's the GOAT. How is that not the greatest of all time? That's the GOAT.
He had a whip under 1 in
How many total
1884.
Ks did he have then?
Let's see.
197.
441.
Go.
Oh my
Goat
god.
talk. Goat talk.
Go talk.
Oh my
Goat talk.
god. Hey, if
Believe it or not, he did not touch that volume. Actually, that's a lie. He still faced 2,100 batters 2 years later.
oh my
Big, baby.
god, dude. If we want to talk like crazy single season, I said Steve Carlton earlier. His 1972.
Yeah.
Foul.
Yeah.
12
That's-
WAR, 346 innings pitched of one.
Wait, hold on. That was the year 72. He won 27 games, and the Phillies that year won 59 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane.
Oh, wait.
Wasn't Dwight Gooden's 85? Like, isn't that like a 12-win season?
it's
It's
not
one of the
ridiculous.
greatest seasons of
Okay.
all time. It's ridiculous.
Has there
That's
been any other season post?
That's a
turn of the
12-2. Dwight Gooden's 85 was a 12-2 B-WAR season.
Here's what I want to know.
I mean, a
Fucking
1.53
1972
ERA.
Steve Carlton. Has there been another season? I'm going to go not remotely possible since 1900 that a player has cleared the rest of his team by 10 WAR. 1972 Steve Carlton had 12.5. The next best player, Don Mooney, had 1.9.
That is
that's never happening
unbelievable
again.
that's a thing.
How do you have this team won 59 games with a single player that was worth 13 wins?
That's insane.
That's unreal.
That's Dwight Gooden 85. Oh my god, man.
Dwight Gooden 85, 12-2 B-WAR.
Scott, this is what we're talking about though. 16 complete games.
Right.
Let him go. Let him go.
8 of them were shutouts.
Yeah, let him go to work.
276 innings pitched, 268 Ks, a 2.13 FIP in 276 innings.
Yo,
That is
Okay, so wait, he's
unreal.
got to be up there in F4 too, then, right?
also, guys, let's talk about this.
because he had a
Let's-
1.53 yeah, 2.13 FIP, a sub 1 WHIP over 276 innings.
Let's
he had
talk
a
about
sub
this.
1 WHIP.
Let's talk about this. rookie year
8.9
from-
F4. Yeah, grow up, Fangraphs.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
let's talk about this rookie year from Dwight Gooden, though, man. 2.6 ERA and 218 innings.
Yeah,
Led the
runner up
league
for
in
Cy
strikeouts.
Young.
1.69 FIP
Yeah,
and
that's unbelievable.
11.4 K per 9.
Led the league in
Oh
WHIP too.
My God.
He led the
yeah.
league in K per 9, home run per 9, hit per 9, WHIP, FIP, strikeouts. As a rookie, he
Who
led in
won
all
Cy
of those.
Young that year? They had to have just gone.
No,
to
don't
the-
look. Oh wait, there's National League. Never mind. You can look. You look.
Yeah.
In 84.
Yeah, I thought we were talking about AL. I was gonna say don't look. Let's end the stream because I don't want to talk. I don't want you to slander the GOAT, but yeah, it's
I
NL,
mean,
so you can look.
yeah.
And second in AL Cy Young voting that year is another GOAT.
Yeah, he got second for a reason. Willie better.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dan,
sure.
Dan
But Dan
Petrie, my
Quisenberry's a
Cy Young
goat.
winner. That's all I gotta say,
Dan
Scott.
Quisenberry's a
Petrie
goat.
is my Cy
Shout out
Young.
Dan Q.
Wow, Rick Sutcliffe most assuredly did not deserve this in 84.
Willie
I
No,
Hernandez.
but he was the. Was he? Oh no, he was a starter, but it was the 84 Cubs.
He was a starter, yeah, but way
Dude,
less WAR. It's because he went 16 and 1.
People were so mesmerized by closers that the AL Cy Young voting, the top 2 vote getters were closers because people were just so mesmerized by good closing pitchers for the first time ever. And they let Burt Blyleven, who had a 7.2 WAR, almost a 20-win season, and a 2.87 ERA get third.
Scott, go down. This is in the John Boys video. Dave, Steve.
Well, yeah,
Wow.
I know Steve is there. I know, but it's just like it's so funny that he wasn't robbed though. Willie deserved it. That's the GOAT. All right, let's wrap it up.
Well, he got robbed in a few different years. So for
5 WAR season as a closer.
That's what I'm saying.
Go.
He got robbed
Go
in
talk.
multiple years. We can let this one slide. I'm willing to
Go talk. AL, also, Willie Hernandez won MVP. All right, now let's wrap it up.
And to be
Didn't
fair,
just win Cy Young, he literally won MVP as a closer. All right.
to be fair,
Let's
you've
go
also
home.
got those 2 closers are pumping 130, 140 innings.
That's
Correct.
awesome, man.
Yeah,
Bring
Cal
it
Ripken
back.
Jr. had a 10 WAR season, didn't even get a top 20 finish. Willie Hernandez won MVP. All right. Let's wrap it up.
Wait, I forgot about that.
Let's wrap it up. No. Let's wrap it up. Thanks for tuning in. This is Diamond Digest.
Where can you find us, Scott?
You
Where
can
you
find us at? There's a dash, a dot, and
there's a cookie, a yamutha in there too. Diamond-digest.com.
There you
go. Diamond.digest on Instagram. Diamond_digest on
because
Bird app.
the key to growth on social media is consistency. If you want to follow a graveyard, you can follow Rudy on Twitter. If you want to follow me for some Cardinals news, feel free. And if you want to follow Scott for all things Detroit sports, Red Wings, Blues and Red Wings made a trade. That was nice. That was good for us. We got something out of nothing. And yeah, that's it. We will see you guys next week, and maybe questionably, possibly all-star festivities. TBD.
Next week's going to be weird because that's day one of MLB draft, and I have a crazy day work-wise.
Yeah, I think I might be on here doing the draft for us as well, so we'll see. All right.
We'll see. We'll see how it works out. I don't know. My schedule is very much up in the air.
Scott, what high school prep bat are the Cardinals stealing from Detroit this year in the draft?
Actually, we have like one of the best pitching prospects in the entire draft. Literally goes to high school, like 8 minutes down this road.
All right.
He's going to be like a top 15.
Was it your high school or
no? He goes to a private school.
Oh.
Private Catholic school, but it's literally right, probably like 10 minutes down the road there. And yeah, he's gonna go like top 15, and it's
that's awesome, man.
Cool. Yeah, I got to watch him a lot this year. It was really cool.
Yeah, that's fantastic. All right.
So yeah, next Sunday will be a big day. It's
Scott's making him up.
No. This is actually so embarrassing because I've literally I've literally had to write about him. One sec.
His name is real baseball.
Wait, no, Garrett, put it in the chat, Garrett. Put it in the chat, Garrett. Garrett and I have talked about him, so I can't believe I can't remember his name.
Garrett's
right now.
it's Dylan Bundy.
Yeah, right.
I'll totally do the draft.
The
Royals take another first-round pitcher that's gonna flop. Can't wait.
Hey man,
I
haven't been upset at a Cardinals draft pick in a first-round pick in like 5 years. It's been pretty cool. I've been like, I can justify that. Not since the Delvin Perez selection have I been upset at a pick.
Brock Porter. Golly, I can't.
Oh yeah, I've seen the name. That guy.
I've literally covered him like all season. That's super embarrassing.
I did not know you were. Well, of course, I did not know that. I didn't know it was that close, though. That's nice.
Detroit legend, baby. Yeah, he's right around. Well, not very much, not Detroit, but yes. Very.
When I think of Detroit, I think of
You think of kids named Brock that go to Catholic schools. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, of course.
But yeah, it'll be super cool to see where he goes. So.
It's like how Rudy and I are definitely from Chicago. And on that note.
Hey, I don't even claim Naperville, to be fair. So
where are you from?
Aurora.
Dox yourself? No. Yeah. I just get to say yeah. I'm like, if there's a really terrible, for people that wanted to see my high school, there's a really terrible 80s movie called Lucas that was filmed at my high school. Imagine if Rudy ended horribly wrong. That's the entire movie. I'm not joking you. He gets to play on the football team, and he's returning a punt, and he gets lit up and has to go to the hospital. That's how the movie ends.
I literally thought you were talking about like
me.
Rudy. I was like, that's kind of a dick thing to say. Like,
no.
If Rudy was a screw up, that's what the movie's about. I was like, all right, that's a weird shot, but
no. Clearly, we've all achieved great success in life because we're talking to ourselves at 10 p.m. on a Sunday night.
I was going to say, I think we're rocking like 15 minutes since this game ended. So
yeah, I mean, I'm sure people at least
Peyton's very happy he's not in bed yet. He's super pumped about it.
Yeah. We all have work. We all have jobs.
I mean, Peyton's not even right. Peyton could leave and we would be fine.
Whoa, clip that? No, I'm not.
What, didn't he get fired?
I'm pretty sure I fired him like a month ago.
What are we talking about?
He's about.
All right, you guys just want to do it all nighter?
Scott,
let's start the draft coverage now.
Yeah, Scott, how many people can you name from Backyard Baseball 2002?
Change it up to you a little bit.
Oh, let me see up you there.
All right, we've already done our links. Like I said, I know last year we did a draft. Rudy said, I'm pretty sure Garrett in the chat said that he'd be down. I'll get him on camera. Why not? And on those famous last words, I'm sure that like I said, go follow Scott for his draft coverage. I'm sure he'll provide, I'll be just giving a lot of that boy nice. Scott will have a lot better, he gets paid for what he does. I get let out of my cage to come talk to you guys for 3 hours. So yeah, just look for us. I'm sure that we'll do at least one, maybe Sunday Night Baseball, and then, All-Star festivities are always interesting, but we did
a lot of All-Star coverage on Twitch last year. So
we did.
definitely
So
look out
it's
for